Hello everybody. Welcome to Evil Bowen's frightening evening. It is time to begin. I'm honestly very scared. But first I'm going to take I'm going to read a story to you guys, which was submitted to me by somebody called Madeline. It goes like this. My story takes place when I was about the age of 6. My family and I had recently moved houses. Our house was very nice, very spacious and pretty. But only a little after we moved in, I started to have a fear of the bathroom. Above the toilet was a vent, and it looked like a doll was in it. Keep in mind that we had many bathrooms, so nobody really used this one. Anyways, I told my family, and none of them believed me, because I've always been a scaredy cat type of person. I refused to use that bathroom, because I was super scared of the doll thing in the vents. But one day, I decided to face my fears, because I was tired of my family making fun of me. So, I went to use that bathroom, and as soon as the door closed, it locked by itself. My 6-year-old self was obviously horrified, trying to yank the door open right away, but it wouldn't open. Then I started to hear laughing and a high-pitched talking coming from the vents. I remember how petrified I was. I thought I was going to be in there forever. But eventually, the door opened. After that, I told my family, and nobody believed me still. My brother's room was also haunted, and we saw a shadow in there frequently. But my parents just brushed it off. What went from a perfect house ended up being haunted as F. We moved out only about a year after, but my parents still do not believe me. How terrifying was that? Oh my goodness me. Scary doll shit. Guys, can we get candles in the chat? Can you guys get the candle Jenna emoji? Wait, I don't even know how to find it. Candle, 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 candle. How do you send? Candle. Okay, so I'm going to play... What games am I playing? What did I say I would play? This is my signal for, if I'm really scared, I'm just gonna... Okay, the first game I'm going to play is called Anatomy. You guys heard of Anatomy? Do you care about Anatomy? Okay, that's a lot of candles. I'll make a little poll saying, do you care? Anatomy, do you care? Question mark. Yes, no. Ask your community. Okay. We are about to go into a new scene. Here we are. That's it. That's a lot of 81% cares about Anatomy. Okay. Let me make that bigger. By the way, this right here, that number is my heart rate, which 92 at the moment. We're doing good. Oh, it's going up. I'm getting nervous. Okay. Let's play the game. So I've just started in this house. Open, open. So far, I'm not scared. Those are the pyramids. Okay, which door opens? Not this one. Huh. Okay, not gonna lie, I played this already and I got up to here, so I'm not surprised by this cassette.
In the psychology of the modern civilized human being, it is difficult to overstate the significance of the house. Since as early as the Neolithic era, humankind has defined itself by its buildings. Buildings for worship, buildings for socializing, buildings for protection, even buildings for the commemoration of the dead. But of all the structures that mankind has invented for itself, there is little doubt that the house is that which it relies upon most completely for its continued survival.
There is a tape in the dining room. What's in the fridge? Let me out, let me out. Okay. Where's the dining room? Okay, someone's just starting a tape label. Okay, let's see if this one's any good.
The house is one of the key elements that separates modern humanity from its more primitive antecedents. No other creature goes to such lengths to create lasting, permanent shelter for itself, nor regards such shelters with such reverence and import. Why do human beings of our modern age foster this tremendous sympathy toward their homes? There are many reasons, of course, but perhaps it is due in some small part to seeing them as a reflection of ourselves.
Okay, game. Downstairs bathroom, you say? Are you guys scared? Because I'm not scared. Yet. Downstairs? Can I get downstairs, please? It's got to be this way. We need to poop. Okay. The old mirror trick. I guess I don't exist. I will never say what you want me to say. Yeah, I want to pick this up. Look at this low poly sync. Okay, let's pick up the tape. Let's see if EP number 3 is any better.
The anatomy of the house is such that this analogy is less superficial than at first it may seem. To carry it further, if we were to dissect a house as we might a human cadaver, we would find ourselves able to isolate and describe its various appendages and their functions in a decidedly anatomical fashion. There is even a fair number of direct comparisons to be drawn between those organs of a house and those of a human body.
Okay, so there's a 500 in the chat from James Ski. Jameski. I don't know what the message said. Let's see. If I press escape, is it going to end the whole game? What I want to do is, okay, there we go. Click. What does it say? Love you. That's nice. Thank you. Wow, that's a crazy dono. I guess I'll just PayPal that back to you tomorrow. I don't know. That's mad, but thank you. So this guy loves houses. Maybe I could buy a house with $500. Where to next? Oh, what about upstairs? The spiral. It's like a kind of tapeworm. Okay, something open. Open for me. I'm going to turn my audio up so it's scarier. Nowhere wants to open. Okay. Some kind of garage. I also want to let you guys know something really scary. My grandma died on Halloween. So, think about that. How do I pick this up? I got a long way back to go. People don't want me to end up on TikTok. All I'm going to say during this stream is I'm not scared and then scream. That's my plan. Where's the tape?
For example, let us examine the living room. Often the dominant space of a house's ground level, as well as typically the center of activity in a well-populated home, the living room is very much the heart of the house. While a human heart circulates blood to oxygenate the body's extremities, the living room circulates people, activity, communication. It is the room most likely to be found beating, as active and vivacious as its name would imply. The comparison is only strengthened when we consider also that the living room is most commonly the room to contain the fireplace, making it additionally a locus of actual physical heat.
So this is a game for architects. So far, I'm not spooked. But I've been told this game is really good. Okay, living room. No, not here. I played PT once and that terrified me so much. And I had to just throw the controller down on the floor. And I refused to play it anymore. Living room. Living room. Living room, where are you? This is a living room. Somebody says, is this an American trying to do a British accent? Yeah, I guess so. How British do you think I sound on a scale of 1 to 10? Peak British, mild British. Let's listen to this.
It is easy to think of the kitchen and dining room as the stomach or digestive system of a house, though this comparison is tenuous. By contrast, the function and analog of a bathroom should be immediately obvious. The hallways and corridors of a house are its veins, providing circulation coursing throughout its frame. A staircase bears more than a passing resemblance, both physically and symbolically, to a spine. The windows of a house serve much the same purpose as eyes, and anyone who has ever rounded a bend or long drive and come suddenly face to face with a tall, dark manor will tell you that it is difficult to shake the impression that the house, through its lightless windows, is a creature capable of vision and intelligence.
There's the tape on the stairs. Yeah, I shaved maybe about 3 hours ago. And as you can see, it comes back. I don't stay shaved for long. I have tenacious hair. Hello, tape. But I did it all for you guys.
The bedroom is perhaps the room that most eludes direct comparison in this fashion. At a stretch, and allowing for a bit of poetic sympathy, it might be said that the bedroom is not unlike the human mind, or those parts of it which dictate thought and imagination. In the bedroom, dreams are dreamt, passions are ignited, epiphanies are experienced in cold sweat at early hours. In the bedroom is where people invariably spend the majority of their time, though comparatively little of it whilst conscious.
Oh. Time to see where the magic be happening. Magic the Gathering in the bedroom. Please. Are there murderers gathered here? Why is it dark? Okay, here we go. Wow, look at this. It's nice. Look, can you see a terrifying clown? Do you see what I see? Look, can you see that face? It's so horrible. Okay. Yeah, I look a lot younger when I'm shaved. My stage age is 25. Would that just be my stage age? You know, when agents come through, as they do every day in my life, and they're talking to, you know, theatre directors, movie directors, and like, oh, we need a 25-year-old guy. Say, oh yeah, we got this guy. He's called Callum Bowen.
And yet this analogy is an incomplete one, for obviously the mind is an exceedingly complex thing. If the bedroom represents the thinking, dreaming part of the brain, then it is the basement that represents those lower, unconscious parts. The basement is dark. It is buried. It is a place full of cobwebs where memories are stored. A poignant comparison, truly. Often the unnerving uncertainty that comes with considering the deeper aspects of the human psyche is not unlike gazing down at the swimming blackness pooled at the bottom of a basement stairwell. It is a place we spend our childhoods filling with monsters that will lay for years in patient silence. It is a place that, barring some specific errand, we seldom ever want to go.
The basement is where the secrets are hidden. Everybody say your deepest, darkest secret in the chat right now. Just to like give me some courage before I go into the basement, which is probably where something is going to like terrify me. Everyone's saying, yeah, do Borat. Tell me your secret. Somebody's just come home. Where the hell's the basement? Here you are. Okay, I've read all of your secrets now, and they've given me the courage to go down here. What lies in this terrifying, deep, dark place? There's something over there. I'm going to hug the wall. Back to the wall. Nothing can get me. I think you guys are so brave for sharing your secrets. Thank you and bless you. Oh. Okay, nothing down here. Maybe I should have started with a more like bombastic game. I think this is kind of like a quiet, eerie, thoughtful game.
Of course, this comparison, though appropriate, is a very heavy-handed one, and often the basement is little more than a storage space littered with the corpses of spiders and woodlice. While poets and psychoanalysts no doubt dread the thought of a dark basement, in truth, it is the bedroom, the waking mind, that place of dreams, that is actually the most frightening of all.
There is a tape in the master bedroom. But I've just seen a message that is much more important than that says dinner check. What did everybody eat? I had Thai food, which I ordered from a app, which is not sponsoring me, so I won't say its name. We're getting a dinner check because I think we're about to have a big scare. So let's fill ourselves up before we shit ourselves. Dun 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 dun. Okay, Halloween candy, pasta, banana and fried rice, enchilada, a quiche, Korean ramen, vegan pizza, croquette, a hot dog. Were you drinking wine? Yeah, I was. Bread and butter pudding, pizza, sweet and sour chicken club, ramen, soup, apple and peanut butter, cheesecake and chicken nuggets, breakfast, fruits in, pizza, yogurt, chicken, bread. Okay, let's go in the room. It's not you. What about you? Master bedroom, where are you? This is where the true secrets reside. Oh, it's all red. The red, red room. Where acts of red rum were committed. Okay, I got the tape. Should we get into bed? I don't want to listen to this tape. Let's just go to bed. Oh, what are you?
It is here, in the bedroom, that we are at our most vulnerable. Each night we shut our senses to the world for hours at a time, trusting in the house to keep us safe until next we wake. In this state of extreme vulnerability, we will spend something like 20% of our lives. Anything might stand beside us, watch us, keep us company until dawn, and we would never perceive it. We can only pray that the house will not let such things carry on as we sleep. In this way, during these hours, the bedroom seems less like a mind and more like a mouth. For it is here that the house is most likely to betray us. It is here that we place ourselves most at the house's mercy and spend each night hoping that it will not bite down.
Wow. Okay, that's it. Will it got me at the end? Okay, guys. Wow, what a slow start. And yet, I believe I can I can pick things up with a second spooky story. Here we are. Okay. This one was sent to me by someone called Rin. When I was 12 to 13 years old, I used to be a student from a Catholic school. In this school, there was a church which we, as kids, liked to intrude during our recess. With time, we discover through psychophony that something wasn't in peace. We heard things. There were screamings, shooting sounds, and cryings. One of those days where we intruded this church, I had a scary experience. I came back from school. There was nobody home, which was usual since both of my parents were at their jobs. I decided to stay in the living room when I saw something. It wasn't a big thing. It was just a little white figure that moved from a picture. I clearly remember that. An uneasy feeling invaded me, but nothing more happened during the rest of the evening. It was night time when I went to my room. I still wasn't calm. I didn't know why. It was between 9 and 10 p.m. I felt like shaking, and I saw a boy in the corner of my bed. A boy in a tuxedo. It was less than a second, but I clearly saw him. I decided to sleep, and then the worst happened. In my dream, I could only look upside down. I recognized trees and stars. I was tied up. I tried to look around me, and I saw 3 hooded people. I can't remember the colours, maybe red or black, but I feel like I was going to die in any moment. It was like a ritual, and I was the sacrifice. I don't know how I woke up. It was still dark, probably the middle of the night, or maybe the witching hour. I don't know, but I felt knocking, chills through my spine, and I began to pray. I wasn't a very devoted person, so I had to be very scared for doing that. While I was praying, my bedside lamp turned on and off rapidly. I was scared to death. I decided to go for my mother. I told her what had happened, and she decided to sleep with me. My dad went to my room and slept there. The next day, my dad says he had slept very badly, which was weird. My mum, on the other hand, she said that during the night, there was something trying to take off my bed sheets. The following night, I went back to my room, but sadly, it never happened anything similar, at least until now. What do you guys think of that scary story? I'm going to open a poll. I thought it was pretty scary, and I didn't like the tuxedo guy. What do you think of story? Okay, post. What? Any of you guys scared? No? Okay. Next, we are going to play Nun Massacre. Okay, let me go to my other screen. You guys seem scared, definitely. Okay, N-U-N Massacre. Play. Make you smaller. I think this might be the one where I get really scared. What do you guys think? Have any of you guys played this before? Okay, move, peek, run. Okay, maybe I need to turn this down a little bit. I have a feeling it's quite loud. Okay, how about now? Alright. Z is inventory, F drop item, crouch. Okay, we're good. I think this is the one that's actually going to scare me now. The last one was very atmospheric, very thought-provoking, but I did not tremble. Okay, we're in the bath. I love a bath. We don't have enough hot water. You pour the bath and it gets cold. I've played like 10 minutes of this, so I've already looked in all of these. I know that there's nothing in there, but let's just leave these open. Oh, I want to change. I think this looks better. What do you guys think? I think this looks a lot better. Oh, I have a $5. The only thing scary this season is the lack of Bowen album 2. Somebody speaks the truth. It's locked. Okay. Dear Mrs. McDonnell, I hope this letter finds you well. Your child is sick and needs your immediate attention. We would normally handle this matter, but the situation is urgent. I'm going home. Please. Look in the trunk. The album shall come. Just you guys wait. Somebody says they had a McDonald's today. Mrs. McDonald is very proud. I hope my child is okay. I guess they've been taken to a nunnery. Okay. This is some deep mud. Where are we going? I think I have to make it up to that shining point. This is very Breath of the Wild. Mountain climbing. It's getting louder. No. Okay, no more music. Yeah, I think this is a Breath of the Wild like. This is like the next Genshin Impact. But with added mud. Ah. Another car. It's locked. I don't see anybody around. Anybody in here? It's not about how long you climbing. Sometimes you gotta make you lose. It's about how long I'll get here. Somebody's gonna make you choose. Not about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. Yeah. Okay. Do you see that person? Did you see that? Guys, I swear someone was here. This game is so loud. Someone said this is a bad stream game because if you die, you restart the whole thing. Why do you think I'm gonna die? Yeah, okay, that would be kind of really annoying. A lone wheelchair. Would be a shame if I pushed it off. Oh! Oh my god. A wooden cross, that's cool. Okay, I really don't like this game now. Sometimes you're gonna make it lose. Not about what's waiting on the other side. We're nearly up there. I've never really climbed a mountain. Have you guys climbed a mountain? If so, which one? Little mountain check in the chat. Gotta keep low. I see you! I see... Okay, that's just a bush. Or is it? Yeah, that is a bush. I have climbed Mount Vesuvius. Vesuvius, baby! You guys saw that, didn't you? Okay, we've made it. I hope my child is in here and is totally fine. Door. I did the climb. Yeah. You weren't about what's waiting on the other side. Is the door here? Oh, that's my inventory. Guys, where's the door? Help me. Help me, where's the door? Oh, here it is. Right? Is this a door? No. There aren't enough pixels in this game. Where is a door? Maybe it's one of these. Are you the door? This is a big gamer moment right now. There is no door. Go around here. Okay, okay, this is the way, this is the way. Now I found it. I got my heart rate resting at a cool 90. Oh! You gotta try a bit harder than that to scare me. Okay, okay. Here we are. Metal door. We did it. We did it. Let's go. Ah. Okay. Okay, this is just an elevator. Right, where's the button? Okay. Here's a window. I don't have any weapons yet, so I think the only thing I can do if something terrifying comes towards me is run. Where is my child? Where are you, my baby? Oh, is this a good idea? What's up here? This looks good. Dear Diary, Mummy dropped me off at my new school. I'm going to miss my old friends. I brought Bongo with me though. We have a teacher named Sister Euphemia. She has an assistant named Sister Odelia. They're teaching us all about the saints and what wonderful lives they've lived. Today we learnt about Saint Lucy. Her eyes were put on a plate and she became a martyr. That's a weird word. Sister Euphemia said that her love for God saved her from the evil Romans that tried to hurt her. Sister Rose said that Mother I can't read this, is going to take care of us. Well, that's terrifying. Okay, away. Maybe I need to change the settings so okay, there we go. That's a lot better. Okay. Can I just get in here? I'm actually really scared right now. Okay, there's a light on here. Okay. TV. Oh, these are just drawers. Yeah, what are you? Lighter. Okay, that's good. This is a good thing, I think. Now at least I can see. Did I already go in here? No. I don't think there's any nuns here. Can I close? Closed door would be nice. Okay, nothing in here. What about here? Just a TV. I'm not going to put the tape in, am I? Why would I do that? Then the nun's going to come. Okay, nothing to see here. How do I turn the light off? How do I turn that off? No, off. How do I off that? Oh, like this. Okay. I might keep it off. None. Wait, do you see that? Okay, I'm going to keep going up. Oh, fuck! Okay. I guess I can like jump over, I can't jump over that. Okay, I didn't like that. I'm going in here. Wait, I've already been here. What the fuck was that? I think I can go further up. I actually really just want to stop playing now. No, not metal door. I hate metal door. Oh, the nun is in one of these. For sure. Guys, can I stop? I would like to stop. Okay, nothing in here. I'm just opening everything. I don't like that. Was that some kind of like gas or something? Or burning? Wooden plank. Hit the nun with that. Oh, I can put that over the barbed wire. Okay, that's good. Someone's coming. How do I close? How do I close this? Can't you hear? No. Go. Go. We cool. This is Nun Massacre, by the way. I haven't seen the nun. I haven't seen any nuns. I'm gonna use my ears. Do you hear that? I hate that. Where the hell is she? Okay, I'm going down here. Okay, so wood, use. There we go. Okay. This feels good. What's this? A rock. I'll take it. Why would I throw that? And at what? This is a nice place to hide. I need to remember about this room. No. No, no, no. Okay. Ah! What if I... Aha. So I can throw this rock through the... I need to hide after doing that. A nun would definitely hear that. And yet... I see no nun. I hear no nun. Guys, I don't think that there are any nuns here. Can I like open? Oh fuck, 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 fuck. Why can't I open that? No, 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 no. I think she sees me. No, 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 fuck, 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 fuck! Ah! Oh my god. No, 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 leave me alone. Oh, this is horrible. Oh my god. No, not again. Please, please, just leave me the fuck alone. Now can I stop playing? No, 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 no. Dude, leave me. I'm trapped. Okay, fuck this shit. Go, 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 go. No, I can't go that way. Go this way. I fucking hate this game. I'm sorry for swearing. I'm really no. I'm back at the start now. I feel like the nun has got me trapped. No. Please. What the fuck do I do? Guys. Guys, I'm fucked. Guys, I can't do it. Maybe I can run past the nun or something. Okay. This time will be okay. Someone says forget about your son. I kind of agree. Okay, let's shut the... No, why is it always opening? Okay. I'm safe in here for a second. I can just kind of take a breather. I threw the rock. I always threw the rock. I already threw it. All I have is a lighter. A standard oil lighter. I can use this to see where I am. Maybe it has another use. Okay. Yeah, my son is not important anymore. Is this as scary to you guys as it is to me? I don't know if it's like actually scary to watch this, but playing this is like incredibly... No. It's fine. I can go in here. Incredibly scary. What? No, that's just stupid. How do you know where I am? Okay, I'm running away. I'm trapped. I'm gonna have to do the fucking toilet thing again. No, come on. What is the nun's AI? Okay. No. I'm being so quiet. No, no, no. So the nun is near. Kind Can I just like run past the nun? I feel like if the nun was... Where are you, nun? You're probably up here, aren't you? Oh my god, I fucking hate this. No. Guys, what the hell do I do? I'm so trapped. I'm really trapped. I need help. I really need help. Okay, I can do this. Let's figure this out. So, I walk up here, nun sees me, I run away. I'm guessing that the nun can't come down here. I hate this. Okay, I'm gonna creep up. Do not camp me out, unless you want me to try and run past you. I'm gonna run past. See ya. I'm running past you. You don't exist. Okay, we good. Gate. Fucking open. No. Where are you, nun? No, it's getting more. It's getting more nunny. Well, how do I open gate? Nun, leave me alone. I haven't even got my lighter. Fuck. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. Oh shit. No, don't kill me. Oh my god. I feel really bad for like all of my housemates. How was my heart rate? I'm seeing 120 right now. That was a great game. Thanks so much for scaring me so much. I don't know. Let's take a vote on whether I should play another game or whether I should try again. Let me do a little poll. End poll. Let's start new poll. None. New game. Yeah, I feel bad for the world. Okay. Let's see. Let me take a drink of wine. Okay, let's play a new game. That's what I'm thinking. While that poll is going, I'm going to okay, we've got a cool new feature. Okay. Let me just close this game because it's mean to me. It's horrible to me. Okay. So, yeah, I do need a hug. I do really need a hug. So the new the new feature is this. Oh my god, someone's calling me on my seance telephone. Should I pick it up, guys? It seems like somebody wants to tell us a ghost story. Guys, I'm going to pick up the phone. Hello?
Once upon a time, there was a young man called Johnny, who lived with his mum, Susan. Johnny was a good boy, generally, but he loved sweets. One day, Johnny came home from school, and his mother said to him, "Johnny, can you pop down the shops and pick me up half a pound of liver, please? What, from the butcher's?" Johnny said, "Yes, Mum, all right, I'll go." And she gave him £1 with which to buy the meat, the liver. So off Johnny popped, down the street, down the road, towards the shops, with the full intention of going straight to the butcher's and buying some chopped liver. However, on his way, he passed a sweet shop called Sweet Surrender. And he looked inside the window, and there, for £0.50, was the most beautiful gobstopper he'd ever seen. And he thought, oh, I really want that gobstopper. So he popped in the shop, and he bought it. And it was delicious, and he sucked and he sucked and he sucked on that gobstopper till it was all gone. And then he thought, oh, I've got to get the liver. So he marched off to the butcher's and just slipped through the door as they were closing and said, Hi, I need some liver for my mum. I've got £0.50. Ah, sorry, said the butcher. We can't do liver for £0.50. That just won't give you much at all. It's £1 per liver. But I've only got £0.50, he said. I'm sorry, Matt. I can offer you a pork chop instead. No, Mum said she wanted liver. He dashed out the shop, panicking. His mum was someone that you did not want to see angry. He paced up and down outside, unsure what to do, worried that he was going to get a smacked bum. And then suddenly, he had a thought. Just 2 weeks ago, Johnny's mum had buried her father, Johnny's grandfather. Johnny's grandfather was buried just down the road. He skipped along to the cemetery, thinking, maybe I could use his liver. And sure enough, he found himself in the cemetery, next to his grandfather's grave, which was all freshly dug. He took a spade and he started digging. And very quickly, he got right down to his granddad, pulled out his liver real quick, and popped it in a plastic bag. Perfect, he thought. My mum will never know. He covered over the grave and went home to his mum. Here you go, Mum. Here's the liver I bought from the butcher's. Oh, thank you, Johnny. You are a good boy. Now go upstairs and get cleaned. Dinner will be ready in 40 minutes. So off Johnny popped, wiping his brow. That was a close one. And remembering the taste of that sweet, sweet gobstopper. He got away with it. Dinner's ready, Johnny, his mum cried 40 minutes later, and he hopped downstairs. And then he suddenly remembered that he had to eat this dinner, which was his grandfather's old liver. Sure enough, he sat down, and his mother, again, she was ferocious, did not like it if you didn't eat everything on that plate. So Johnny started to eat, mouthful by mouthful, chewing it, hating every moment. Mum, I think I'm a bit full. No, you're not, Johnny. You eat that liver. That cost me £1, that liver. Okay, Mum. And he ate it all up. It wasn't as bad tasting as he thought. Actually, his mum had done a very good job. That night, Johnny was tucked up in bed, and it was 9 p.m, and his mum said, "Good night, Johnny. Turn off the light now." He turned off his light, and he tried to get to sleep. Maybe an hour or so later, he woke up to the sound of a whisper. "Johnny, I want my liver back. I'm coming to get you." "I'm at the graveyard. Johnny, I want my liver back. I'm coming to get you. I'm at the graveyard now." What? What's that? He thought. And he woke up with a start, looking around the room, worried, petrified. It sounded like his grandfather's voice, and as soon as he could think, there was another whisper. "Johnny, I want my liver back. I'm coming to get you. I'm on the road now." What road? What could this be? He pulled the pillow over his head and tried to get back to sleep. "Johnny, I want my liver back. I'm coming to get you. I'm outside your house now. What? He crept to the window, looked outside the window. He couldn't see anything, it was pitch black. Johnny, I want my liver back. I'm coming to get you. I'm at your front door now. His front door! He got back into bed, pulled the duvet over his head. This couldn't be happening. Johnny, I want my liver back. I'm coming to get you. I'm on the stairs now. On the stairs? No, not on the stairs. Johnny, I want my liver back. I'm coming to get you. I'm on the landing now. He covered the duvet with him. He covered himself with the duvet, pulling it round tight. Johnny, I want my liver back. I'm coming to get you. I'm outside the door now. He's shaking like mad. This couldn't be happening. Johnny, I want my liver back. I'm coming to get you. I'm at the bottom of your bed now. He stopped breathing. Johnny, I want my liver back. I'm coming to get you. I'm under the covers now. It couldn't be. It couldn't be. It couldn't be. Johnny, I want my liver back. I'm coming to get you. I'm inside you now. His mother found him the next morning. Completely fine. No sign of a struggle. No sign of anything. But when the coroners did their report, they found Johnny's liver was gone.
Hello? Are you still there? What? Our secret caller has ended the call. Guys, I want my liver back. Guys, wasn't that terrifying? Was that not terrifying? Wow. Any guesses who our mystery caller was? Very famous person. You'd be shocked if you heard their name. Guesses? No. Okay. Let's play a new game. Thanks so much for listening to Johnny, I want my liver back. Let's play a new game. Let's see. What shall I play? I've got a game called Ghost of You, which I think is going to be less jump scary. Let's give it a go. Johnny, I want my liver back. Johnny, I want my liver back. Alright, new game, let's go. You guys ready? Viewer discretion is advised if you guys want to just leave the live stream right now. Be my guest. Ever since you can remember, you've always loved music. The bright, booming sounds of the brass, the passion of the players behind each instrument. You love the vibration from the strings, the sounds of the tenors and falsettos. In every way, in even more ways than those, you have always loved music. You have always wanted to be part of a symphony. As well as your dream of being a part of a symphony, you've always dreamed of performing at a symphony hall too. You are no stranger to the passions of playing an instrument. You love the sensation of your violin strings against your fingers. It is something you relish, something you truly get lost in. And only in your nightmares do you experience the sheer terror of losing your hands or fingertips. You have lost count of the songs that pluck at your own heartstrings. Learning at a young age has served your ambition well. The opportunity to see a symphony have passed you by time and time again. They are sporadic in their arrivals to the nearest city, and even then, you've not been able to bring yourself to attend. You felt deeply anxious about going. The anxiety has been present for many reasons. One being that you have felt frightened at the idea that it may not live up to your passionate expectations, or secondly, that it may even go above and beyond them, only serving to fuel a dream that you might not yet obtain. You feel as though you cannot win with your mental state right now. It has dragged you down to the darkest abyss. After the year you've had, the last thing you need is something else in your life to break. But tonight is a special case, a momentous occasion in your history, for better or worse. Tonight, you've been invited by your best friend to a symphony. The opening night of a symphony hall in town that you thought abandoned, until recent refurbishments began taking place out of the blue. But not only that, your best friend, Elisa, is in the performance. It is her first performance at somewhere so prestigious, and is eager for you to see her on stage. She is able to bring a +1, and she's chosen you. She has promised you the privilege of being able to go backstage, of getting to meet those in the small symphony group she finds herself in. And really, you know that the thrill of such an unexpected opportunity is far too great to miss from your anxiety or fear. You steel yourself for a week solid, mentally preparing for your grief and social anxieties. You feel very nervous, but undeniably excited. Tonight you get ready faster than ever before. At this moment in time, you are stood in the hovel of your bedroom. What's a hovel, guys? Hovel in the chat? Or at least you think it is still a bedroom. Between the paper sheets of your music compositions, the dishevelled bed sheets on your mattress, old food containers and bereavement cards, you don't really blame yourself for being unable to find the motivation to tidy up after yourself. There is even a photo album on the floor that you accidentally knocked with your foot as you groggily stood up today. But you shake your thoughts free from your head, as tonight is the night you've been waiting for. Tonight you have finally gotten yourself out of bed, kicked aside those looming sheets of paper and the week's fifth can of something or other, and moved your favourite 3 pictures on your desk side table out in front a little more, almost in a way where they can watch over you. You decide to take a long warm bath first. It clears your mind, at least slightly, of some of the worries and sadness you've had over the past few weeks. And as you return to your messy room, you dress up as smartly as you possibly can. After you are dressed, you throw on your well-worn red shawl over your jacket. It's very cold this time of year, and you want to look as formal as possible without freezing to death. Before you leave, you toy with the idea of stopping to take one last look around your bedroom, just to see if there's anything you forgot, or perhaps just to soak in the fact that this is the first time you've left your flat properly to somewhere that isn't the village store in almost 6 months. Okay, here's a choice. Will you look around your bedroom, or will you proceed straight to the symphony hall? Now, if I go straight there, maybe I won't miss the train or something and I'll get there early. I want to just go straight there. There might be stuff in the room, but I think I have to go. Are you sure you're ready to depart? The symphony hall is quite a walk away, and time is ticking onward. You won't be able to return home to take a second look at anything. Okay, I'll have a look. You decide to take a look at... Yeah, who died? I want to see the bereavement cards. You don't want to look at those, not really. The decision pops into your head momentarily, before it is shaken off by you at the mere sight of the pastel flowers, covered in bits of muted glitter and calligraphy to suggest an expensive ink. The words, "Sorry for your loss," and "Thinking of you," have been glaring you in the face for the last 6 months. You felt sick at the thought of the amount of despair and self-inflicted loneliness that you faced over the last 20 or so weeks. You weren't sure, you hadn't been counting since your mother's death. You turn away. You decide to take a look at... let's look at the composition pages. You decide to check out the papers strewn across the floor, and seemingly every other inch of your room as far as your eye can see. These papers are partially yours and partially compositions that you shared with Elisa Durant, your best friend. The two of you both wanted desperately to be musicians in a professional capacity, but you both could never find the work. You were lucky in that way. You always had your mother to provide a roof over your head for you while you searched. Elisa, on the other hand, did not have anyone. After the death of her grandparents, and even slept rough on the streets without your knowledge for a while. She always was a stickler for her pride remaining intact. You find a lot of memories flood back upon looking at these compositions. You'd both spent hours slaving away over them, writing and perfectly fine-tuning them to no end, and only managed to sell them for, well, enough to eat for a couple of days, at least. It was a very bittersweet industry for the two of you, and not one that you'd felt an injection of passion for in the last few weeks. You place the papers back down on the ground and stand back up. You would rather forget the times you spent writing these for little money. You decide to take a look at... I think I should just... maybe I'll look at one more thing. What are the pictures on the table? You decide to look at the photographs that you've placed on your table in small frames. Before you stand 3 small monochrome pictures in embossed silver frames. One is of you and Elisa Durant, stood with your arms mutually around each other's shoulders and smiling for the camera. One is of you and your now ex-girlfriend, Mona Tenebra, who has her arms around your neck, grinning playfully through her gloomy visage at the camera lens. The last picture is of you as a teenager, and your mother when she was healthy. Which photo will you look at closer? Mother. Your mother, Allegra Pansato. Your eyes flicker to the picture of your teenage self grinning at the side of your mother, and your hand hesitantly picks up the picture. You feel the sudden, horrible welling of emotion behind your eyes and crawling up your throat into a lump. You try not to cry, but you know it just doesn't work. Seeing her face again reminds you of the endless loss and the hole in your heart that remains since she passed away. It's been about 6 months since then. In fact, her birthday just passed 2 months ago, on the 9th of September. You know that she was at no age to die, but her illness deteriorated her body so much that it was unavoidable. She was lucky to have lived for that long. As you stand with the picture in hand, you feel as though it has both been a lifetime and no time at all since her funeral. You miss her so much, and you miss her all the time, especially inside this flat, but you've not had the confidence or the strength to really leave it. Leaving the flat for too long almost feels like leaving her behind in the sea of your grief, and you wish with all your might that you could bring her back. But you know it's not to be. You were there at the hospital the day she passed, and you remember sobbing in Mona's arms for hours. You crumpled in despair at seeing her pass away. You, even now, still cannot really believe that she's gone, even if you were expecting it for months. But life must go on, even in the face of death, and tonight is the first time you've been able to think that. At least think that. You wipe your eyes, taking a deep breath, and nod to yourself. You can do this. Let's look at something else. I think I'm ready to just go to the thing. Yeah, that's fine. Let's just go. I don't want to focus on memories and stuff. I want to enjoy myself. You spent too much time in this place lately anyway. Yeah, exactly. After feeling as though you have thoroughly checked your room over for anything you may need for tonight. Uh-oh. Maybe I needed something. Oopsie daisy. You give yourself the once-over in the mirror, tucking every rogue strand of hair back into place. Wrap what you would call your signature red shawl tight and neat it against your shoulders, and make a vested effort to look as wonderful as you possibly can. You grab your bag at the side of the door instinctively, though you don't really remember what is in here. You don't care to check either. Your eyes meet with your own violin before you leave, and you smile as you close your door, as you imagine that perhaps one day you too could be in that symphonic chorus. Tonight could well be the night of the beginning of your dreams. No wonder you were terrified. Who knew what you were going to meet, after all? Here we go. You lock the door behind you, and your feet crunch along the gravel as you walk. You're finally on your way to the symphony hall. Looking behind you in the dark always felt slightly ominous, but you could never figure out why. In this sleepy village, nothing dangerous had ever happened to your knowledge. But perhaps the most frightening thing of all is not the incidents themselves, but the mere potential for something dreadful to happen at the hands of another. The idea that there might just be monsters lurking in the dark, the grisly horrors of the human world, the perspective for predatory behaviour being a very real reality. You shiver as you walk, and push the sensation of danger to the back of your mind. Despite that, you cannot see too far out ahead of you. The moon is out in full, looming ominously in the navy blue sky amidst a blanket of stars, shimmering silently in the cold wind beneath them. As your teeth clatter with tiny clicks and clacks, you pull your warm shawl around your shoulders once more, snug and comforting. You are thankful that the earlier rain of this day had finally come to a halt, even if that has made for a rather freezing cold night time. Oh, but as you walk forwards, you begin to notice something. You feel as though you are not alone, which in itself is rather strange considering you come from an already rather remote small town. You were surprised that a symphony was even coming here, to somewhere as small and insignificant as this, let alone hearing far-off footsteps that still sound a little too close for your liking. The more you walk, the closer you hear them. You feel a horrible prickle up your neck. Will you turn around and check? No, run. Unfazed by the sounds, you dismiss the ominous feeling that you are being watched, even if the shiver up your spine persists. You feel your breath puff out ahead of you as you walk through the icy breeze, and your ears are met with the deafening sound of silence. It is interrupted only by the crunch of your footsteps. The sharp scent of pine trees wafts against your nose like pinpricks, and your lips dry from the cold night's mist. Something about the atmosphere around you already makes it feel like a night to remember. Your ears prickle up to the sound of those footsteps again. No matter how hard you try to push it back, your blood runs cold as you realize that a horrible sensation is lingering over you. It creeps up slowly up your back to the point you almost want to scream. You find yourself moving along the frosty path by allowing your walk to break into a sprint. You are feeling as though the shadow-like fingers are resting gently and uninvited on your shoulder. You continue to run faster, and after what feels like a lifetime of braving the cold and the frights, another light begins to rise on the horizon. You recognize this as the doorway to the symphony hall, and breathe a relieved sigh. You feel the familiar relief that the light always brings, that it will save you from this unwelcome darkness, and as you approach, you begin to hear faint mumbles of conversation. The symphony hall has a long and illustrious history of being mostly unused to your knowledge. It was used periodically by your music teacher when they were young, as well as the other members of your town whenever they wanted to learn. But that was many, many years ago. That was over 40 years ago, and as far as you know, there hasn't been any performances here in a long time. You have always felt a little sad upon remembering such a thing. But not tonight. Your eyes meet with the silhouettes standing in the light, their shrill laughter accompanied by chattering voices, and the clink of wine glasses against one another. Your stomach churns at the thought of interacting with so many new people. As quickly as you become lost in your thoughts, you are wrenched away as your boots come to an abrupt halt against the pebbles beneath you. You have reached the doorway. You have arrived at the symphony hall. You feel as though your hair is a mess and your appearance is disheveled. All the walking and running it took to get here, but even as you stand, you begin to observe your surroundings and feel the warmth of the room melting into your cheeks, thawing you from the inside out, and your stomach's churning begins to unreel into a calm, welcome sensation. You take one last look out from behind you. There is no monster to be seen. You laugh to yourself privately. There's no such thing as monsters. Right. Do you believe in monsters? No. I mean, I don't know. People who've been through so much that they maybe do monstrous things. I'm going to say anything's possible, but you find yourself in a surprisingly challenging thought pattern of what if with the question of monsters. Do they really exist? What defines something as a monster? Were you thinking of the bogeyman or somebody human waiting in the wings? What really happened out there? There are an innumerable amount of questions with no possible way to ever find out a concrete answer to them all, especially now. You give the cloakroom attendant your bag in a daydream. Here you go. and she has to repeat your last name twice back to you to snap you out of your thoughts. You've received the key with your locker number on it in exchange. You wander away, still wondering just what really happened on the walk to the symphony hall. Turning around, your eyes meet with several mahogany-arched doorways behind crowds of people, and you find it much easier than anticipated to weave in and out of the masses. Your breath is taken away by the luxurious appearance of the lobby before you. Was this really the place that Elisa was so cordially invited to? You also couldn't help but wonder why you weren't also invited, given that the two of you often did busking and commission works together. You felt almost ashamed every time you thought about it for too long. Feelings of inferiority inside. You're bowled over by the lavishness of the lobby. You see many rich, expensive tapestries woven with the equally gaudily wealthy colours used around the room, and the place oozes money. You raise an eyebrow at seeing that even the plastic plants dotted around the room appear to be rare. You barely even know where to start. Upon looking around the lobby itself, you notice that there are 3 doorways. One which appears to be guarded by an attendant, standing nervously with her pigtailed hair resting gently on her shoulders and adjusting her glasses every few seconds. Another door which you assess to be the bathrooms, and a third door which you can clearly see from the way 2 women just staggered out in formal dress wear, laughing on each other's shoulders, is almost certainly the bar. You also note that there are large navy blue double doors that you deduce immediately to be the gateway to the stage area, but you cannot enter there just yet. For the time being, you indulge the idea of exploring the hall in all of its expensive glory, as you feel as though you need to clear your head before Elisa finds you tonight. I need to put on my glasses. You now have the opportunity to look around for a while. Where would you check first? Have you ever seen a cat wear glasses? I'm going to go for... I need to go to the bathroom. I don't want people to see me. As you manage to weave your way in and out of the other smartly dressed patrons, your eyes glance over shimmers of expensive gold necklaces, vibrant rubies and tailor-made suits. You carefully eschew yourself from bumping anybody's side and make your way to the bathroom to check your appearance and freshen up a little. You open the doorway and your eyes are immediately surprised by the decadence of what was supposed to be a simple bathroom. The walls are covered in wallpaper of vivid green forestry, and the sinks are made with the most exquisite-looking blue porcelain, accompanied by faux gold taps, a red velvet rug beneath your feet, a silver chandelier hanging over your head, and some rather unglamorous grey cubicles next to you by comparison. Only one cubicle is occupied, a woman having an intense conversation with herself, full of pep and vigour and self-appreciation, and as such, you decide not to interrupt with too loud a noise. You can do it. You can do it. Don't think about everything else. You hear the mumbling and lean against the freshly cleaned sinks, peering into the mirror, and check your appearance. You splash a little warm water on your face, unable to shake the feeling that voice in the bathroom stall sounds incredibly familiar. As you turn to leave, the toilet inside the occupied cubicle flushes, and you instinctively turn to face them as they exit. The door opens, and the two of you look at each other with startled wide eyes. Oh! The two of you stop dead in your tracks. You feel frozen to the spot. The voice was not only familiar, but somebody that you knew better than anybody in the world. Oh my gosh. The woman before you... I don't want to wear these anymore. The woman before you cannot bring herself to speak first, but even though there is a tension, you can tell it's not hostile. The ice needs to be broken before things take a turn for the further awkward, and you must be the one to do so. Libretto! She gasps, her emerald eyes shining at you in a stunned, breathless moment. What will you say? Ah, this is Mona, is it? Mona! Mona flinches at your words. You feel a knife of guilt twist in your chest. The two of you stand frozen to the spot, meters apart from one another, and with a glaze over your eyes so glassy that you feel as though you aren't sure whether to cry or leave immediately. Mona Tenebra, once the love of your life, and currently not your girlfriend through your own decision, stands before you. She looks stunned, utterly shell-shocked to see you, and you wring your hands with anxiety. What on earth was she doing here? Were you both really going to talk about your issues here, in the bathroom of a symphony hall's opening night? Surely if Elisa had known Mona would be here, she would have told you, right? You feel confused and alarmed, and on top of that, Mona looks more upset than she does anything else. What did you want to say? What could you say? You were beyond shocked to see her, but you were even more surprised that you had never seen her look so stunned in any of the moments the two of you spent together. This was pure, undiluted emotion. She genuinely wasn't expecting to see you at all. If ever again. Libretto, she finally stammers out and shakes her head. What are you doing here? What? She pauses and runs a hand through her hair, her eyes closing in frustration. Damn it, of course, Elisa is here, isn't she? She sighs with an angry exasperation. And you can tell it isn't aimed at you. How could I be so stupid to not assume that she'd, well, I thought she had a partner, but... There's a long pause. You visibly see Mona shiver at the idea that has just entered her head. What is it? Mona pauses, seeing your expression, and shakes her head quickly, running a hand hastily through her hair. No, it's nothing. Libretto, what is going on? The woman before you is as strikingly beautiful as you remember her. You feel taken aback by the attraction, almost as if you had forgotten over the time you spent apart. Tonight she is dressed sharply. She's wearing a white frilled blouse with a waistcoat over the top. A dark purple brooch in the middle of her collar, accompanied by dark purple stockings, a black skirt, and smartly coordinated shoes. Her gloomy expression is as you left it all those months ago. Those familiar emerald eyes look out from under her fringe at you, desperately searching your face for answers that aren't there. What will you say? I think I'm gonna say Elisa didn't tell you anything either, huh? I don't want to leave, so I'm not gonna give her that option. Mona's expression looks as gloomy as people always thought she was, but this time, you can tell that she feels utterly overwhelmed at the sight of you before her so suddenly. She turns away from you slightly, wiping at her eyes, with her hand as subtly as she can manage. And even though she's watery-eyed, you still know that this was the better choice of words. No, she didn't, Mona replies sharply, her daggers aimed at Elisa, and sighs as she folds her arms. She tilts her head back to look up at the tiles of the bathroom ceiling. Not that I'm surprised, I knew she never liked me much, even if we did have our moments. I swear, I thought her heart was going to leap out of her mouth the moment she knew we were in this performance together. I didn't know whether to be relieved or to keep on crying when I saw you one in this performance too. Mona shuffles around in her position a little, and you lean against the wall facing her. Her emerald stare meets your gaze, and the two of you are unable to look away from each other for a moment. I can't believe, Mona begins, and she clears her throat as she finally breaks the eye contact. I can't believe Elisa didn't tell either of us that she was planning to invite you, after everything that, well, you know. Mona shifts uncomfortably, and you can feel the gravity of the situation around you two. What will you say? She was probably just trying to protect us, Mona. She's always being so self-centered. I bet she was just focused on her own excitement. I genuinely think she probably was focused on her own excitement, and I'm gonna throw some shade. You're furious. How could Elisa forget to tell you something so pivotal? Something that she knows has been weighing heavily on your mind for the past few months. The way it broke your heart to let Mona go. The destroyed self-esteem. The heavy anchor of guilt that you felt. Making the decision that you couldn't be what she needed in your grief. The tears that you even cried on Elisa's shoulder. How could she? Or why would she not tell you? I agree. Mona pauses, seeing your obvious contempt towards Elisa's insensitivity, and sympathetically folds her arms. Libretto. Her expression softens fully. You can tell she doesn't think any worse of you, even just from that stance. You feel slightly alleviated of your frustration. Are you guys into this? Like, I am fully into this story, but the chat has slowed down. Say a yay or nay in the chat. Let's see. I want to know what happens. I'm glad you've begun to see through what she's really like for once. All that woman cares about is herself, and how things benefit her. I know you know her in a different way to me, but I'm not a complete stranger to her ways either, you know? She's had too many women fawning over her through the years besides the one she really wants. You both pause for a moment. Mona sighs. Okay, I'm seeing yays in the chat. I know it's been difficult, libretto, for us both. She turns to face the mirror and gently pulls out her mascara from her makeup bag that has been resting on the side of the sink and shakily does her eyelashes one more time. You feel as though this was the right choice to get back into Mona's good graces. After an awkward silence that feels like it lasts an eternity, whilst Mona finishes doing her makeup, she turns around to face you. She looks at you with an expectant, unintentional stare, a look that you recognize of hers fully, where she is trying to work out what you are thinking about. You are always the kind of woman to keep your cards close to your chest, unless the situation particularly called for emotional exposure. She tries for a few more seconds before giving up entirely, and slips her hands into her pockets. Libretto, she begins, before bashfully looking away from you. I'll see you at the performance tonight. You have the opportunity to do something. Your hands quickly move and you... Oh man. I mean, I do miss her. I'm gonna grab her wrist. It's not a big move. It's just like a kind of like, hey, you know? You can't help yourself with her in front of you. Your hand slips gently around Mona's wrist, pulling her hand out of her pocket quietly. A gasp escapes her lips, and her eyes meet with yours once more. The same, ever-present intensity resting between you. Her lip quivers as she talks. Libretto? She asks, and you feel your stomach lurch with nerves as the sound of hope is present in her voice. What will you say? I don't think I can say I miss you, because we clearly broke up for a reason. I'm gonna say good night. Good luck tonight. I'll be watching. Mona's eyes falter at the softness of your words. You feel emotions running rampant through your mind, at the sensations you feel, and your palms grazing against the familiar rub of her skin. Thank you, libretto. She replies calmly. See you backstage then. She's either gonna kiss us backstage, or those two S's are turning into L's. Oh. Where will you look now? Let's go to the cloakroom. I need some more wine. This is the first room you've been inside here that has no windows to its name. Someone says, Evil Beau says, I don't miss you. There are lavish coats of all colours and designs as far as the eye can see. Chestnut hat stands are placed in the corners at the front of the room and are adorned with all manner of headgear, from finely made top hats to the scruffiest of flat caps. The light is bright above your head, and the sound of muffled conversation obscured by the cloakroom door reaches your ears. The entire place is made of smooth, dark wood, a strong smell of polish floating underneath your nose. You smell the comforting scent of a freshly laid carpet. A gentle blue pattern rests beneath your boots, soothing your eyes. This room smells like new paint and lavender. You cannot help but think that this room feels safe, and you are somewhat reluctant to leave. I am reluctant to leave. Eventually, after soaking in the atmosphere a little more, you see where the attendant has placed your bag in a locker. You decide to leave. Where will you look now? Let's go to the bar, baby. Naturally, your instinct in a lavish place such as this is to check their alcoholic contents, if only out of curiosity as opposed to quenching a thirst. As you approach the bar, you begin to realize that your boots have automatically carried you here. You laugh at your actions as you hear the faint sounds of the room, the shuffle of delicate wine glasses, coupled with gently clinking beverages, clink, 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 with ice scoops being shoved into small metal buckets of cubes. You hear a cork pop across the room, and you feel your mouth salivating for something cold to slip down your throat. Your eyes nearly pop out of your skull when you see the prices. Okay, how much are we talking? Because James Ski just sent me $500, so I can buy anything here. This bar has an intense atmosphere in the air. It is very different from the atmosphere of the lively flowing chatter from outside, as in here feels personal, almost vindictive, with an impending doom awaiting from almost every corner. You blink, surprised at the surrounding feeling, and walking to the bar. Perhaps the two women emerging from here earlier weren't quite so drunk from the happy ambience as much as they were the copious amounts of vodka they'd indulged in. You decide to have a drink, and the barwoman looks at you with a suspect glare. She can tell you aren't rich. She looks you up and down twice. Yes? What will you ask for? Okay, here we go. Water with ice. Iced tea with squeeze of lemon, please. So far, these are some lame virgin options. Give me a whiskey on the rocks. May I buy you a drink instead, madam? You seem like you could do with some loosening up. I mean, let's say it. Let's just be silly. Like, we're self-awarely, ironically saying, "May I buy you a drink instead, madam? You seem like you could do with some loosening up." The bartender blinks at you incredulously as you grin, before she leans against the bar with a dark expression. "I'll be worrying about myself, thank you. Now give me your drink order, madam." You can't help but smirk with satisfaction at having annoyed someone as snobby as she appears to be. Chuckling, you decide to ask for whiskey on the rocks, baby. Here we go. Drinking whiskey at the bottle, not thinking about tomorrow. Let's go. You ask for a whiskey on the rocks and pointedly place your money on the counter. She looks at you in surprise. You can almost see how foolish she feels for assuming you would not be able to afford a drink. Yeah. We had the $500 dono. As you wish, madam. I feel like YouTubers are always getting overlooked, you know? Like, I tell people I'm a YouTuber and they spit on the floor. And they don't think that I can afford a drink like this. You choose not to inform her that this was all the money you brought with you for tonight. As you wait for your order, you turn around, leaning back on the smooth wood of the bar's countertop, and observe your surrounding company in this unusual room. The chandelier that hangs from the ceiling is beautiful. It is incredibly old-fashioned, with what looks like candles standing upright, perfectly spaced between one another and dotting along an impossibly black metal frame. It makes you wonder just how old this building really is. The walls of the bar are dimly lit, burning the midnight oil before the clock strikes 9, and moths dance around the flame of glass encasements in an almost mesmerizing motion. The walls are covered in a mixture of both a light and dark forest green print, heralding an old Victorian pattern, bordered by a chestnut-coloured wood against its lower half. There are dark green leather-clad booths, cushioned seats bordered by more of the same chestnut wood, as smooth and polished as each other. And each booth's seats are accompanied by small tables in the centre of them, with candles and faux flowers residing in the middle. Each one of these booths amid this atmospheric bar holds someone even shiftier looking than the last. There are many unimpressed, suspicious-looking women swirling their drinks around in their tumblers. The ice cubes clink together in their glasses. Old playing cards lay strewn across a few tables, as well as jewellery, cash, and even though you didn't look too hard, you think there might be blood. You wouldn't be surprised if someone's nose got punched in this room. You begin to wonder if these are the kinds of people you're afraid of finding. Are afraid of finding you in the dark along an unlit road's path. But amidst all of this, and coincidentally, as you receive your drink from the disgruntled barwoman, you see two women sat at the back. You can't help but be immediately drawn to them in the midst of this place. The first one you notice is the woman sat on the left. She is a woman with red fire hair, swept into a ponytail that rests over her shoulder. And the woman on her right sits with long brunette waves for her own hair, perfectly complementing her dark skin. The redhead looks just as fearsome and permanently unimpressed as the rest of the clientele in this building. But the brunette looks gentle and serene, and above all else, you think they look happy, in love, and from their body language, very private. The redhead is as handsome as her partner is beautiful, and the two of them together make a very aesthetically pleasing match to your eyes. Beauty and brawn, ice and fire, that was the impression you immediately drew from them. You can almost see the atmosphere of history and chemistry mingling between them, where the serene, kind-looking woman has been an obvious, undeniably good influence on the other. I'm seeing a lot of love for orange juice in the chat. Their fingers join with one another as you watch from afar, coiling round each other's hands like the gentlest of serpents, or the strongest of thread, and it is made apparent that they are not interested in looking away from each other. Amidst the shiftiness of the other patrons chattering in hushed, suspect tones with one another, you smile. You also notice that they are dressed ever slightly different from the others in here, and wonder if that is perhaps something significant. Their attire looks more formal, and somehow more prepared for a stage presence. You begin to suspect that they are part of the symphonic quartet from later. There was one final element about the two women that you couldn't help but notice, and that was that they seemed familiar. You couldn't place how or why, but something about them felt incredibly familiar to you. You swirl your drink in your glass in an indecisive manner, before, eventually, you decide to go over and strike up a conversation with the two of them. What could go wrong? You hesitantly begin to make your way over, stopping to rub the back of your neck periodically. And as you suddenly pick up a brisk pace, I've never rubbed the back of my neck like in a nervous ooh. You suddenly pick up a brisk pace. The brunette is the first to notice you. She looks up at you with a curious look in her eyes, almost questioning who you are wordlessly, and why you were wandering over there in the first place. You also cannot quite believe that you were working up the courage to interrupt a date that is obviously as intense as this, and the redhead maintains her already less than impressed demeanour at your arrival. The candle's flickering flame before her casts a dark shadow on her face, her eyes seemingly golden from their grim expression. She glares at you, and you swallow down the dry, nervous lump in your throat. She leans back in her seat, removing her arm from the woman that she clearly adores, and folds them expectantly. You watch as she eyes up the drink in your hand. You need something, lady? The redhead's tone is gruff, which her partner picks up on instantly. The brunette pats her arm and looks at you apologetically. Arietta, be nice, she mumbles hastily. The other woman clicks her tongue at you. But I don't know this woman. Do you? The brunette studies your face for a moment, before looking back at her companion. No, I don't think so, she confesses. You shift a little uncomfortably. The redhead sighs, and you can tell that her icy demeanour is beginning to crack at seeing your genuine emotions. All right, what do you want? You want money? I can pay you to leave us alone. This is New York! Can't you see we're busy? What will you say? Okay, sorry, I don't really know why I came over here either. No, I'm not saying that. I felt as though I'd met you two somewhere before. May I ask your names? You said you pay me. How much? Okay, I think the middle option. Let's go for this one. You decide that honesty is the best policy. Especially in a place like this. What could it hurt to tell them the truth, anyway? You can clearly hear that the offer of monetary payment to leave them is sarcastic. You would hate to be strung up by your fingers for saying anything wrong in the first place, but especially to a couple who looked very much like they had a cacophony of secrets. They both exchange a look of silent surprise at each other for a moment at your response. You're puzzled but pleasantly surprised that the redhead hasn't jumped up from her seat to whack you in the face. You'd met us somewhere before? The brunette asks inquisitively, and as she nears the end of her sentence, her tone becomes slower. The two exchange a suspicious look. Well, I very much doubt that. Maybe you went to a bar where we were playing one night, though we've never really been to this area before. The redhead looks at her partner and squeezes her shoulder reassuringly. Don't give her ideas, sweetheart. Ideas mean excuses. You feel the pointed tip of this woman's verbal dagger aimed at your throat, as if to say, if you take advantage of us, I'll kill you. But it's I have to find out who is saying what here. Okay, but it's rare for someone to come up and say this to us, Arietta. What if she really has seen us somewhere before? It's not impossible for someone to come up and say this, though. But we're hardly approachable. I have no idea what you mean, the brusque redhead replies as she leans back, sparking up a cigarette, and exhales the smoke in a draconian fashion. I'm the epitome of approachable. The woman next to her laughs, ha ha ha, and pats her shoulder, and the redhead smirks with the satisfaction of making her girlfriend smile. You stand a little awkwardly before their exchange. The brunette is the first to speak to you once more. You really feel as though you've met us somewhere before, she asks you inquisitively. So what if she has? The redhead replies, but her scathing remark isn't directed at her partner, instead directly at you. What's your point, What's your angle, You want something in particular, You gulp at her hostility. You're skating on thin ice. What will you say? Okay, I've got to say something important here, something good. I'm sorry for interrupting your date, I'll leave you be. I don't think it's time to leave them be. Or it's true. Feels like a strange relief to see the two of you, even though we've never met before. I'm going to go for number 3. It's true. It feels like a strange relief to see the two of you, even though we've never met before. The two women exchange one final glance of deliberation, before deciding that you seem to be about as honest as they're going to get in this room full of unsavory people. You wonder, just, what on earth is it that all these types are doing at the Symphony Hall, before you remember that the only people who could possibly afford to get in here on a typical night would be the wealthy, by hook or by crook. Even your drink costs the earth. You stay firmly rooted to your spot until they speak. I'm Arietta, the redhead woman finally speaks, and leans back in her seat, looking away from you as she puffs away on the cigarette. The brunette woman smiles at her as she looks away, before she turns her gaze back to face you. She holds out her hand for you to shake, and you take it in surprise. And I'm Serenade, at least by stage name, replies the brunette with a charming smile, and the two smile at one another before looking back at you beneath the dim, smoky lights of the bar. What about you? What's your name? What will you say? Oh, of course, I'm Libretto Pansato. It's nice to meet you. I don't think it's all that important, but my name is Libretto. Libretto? I think I need to say... I'm not going to say of course. I'm going to continue my whole kind of shy thing, and I think that they're going to enjoy it. So I'm going to say I don't think it's all that important, but my name is Libretto. I kind of don't want to come off as like really dismissive, like, oh, why do you care about my name? Okay, I'm going to go for the first one. I'm Libretto Pansato. You tell them your name, and they look almost impressed. Arietta, in particular, has a flash of recognition amongst her eyes. Did you perhaps know her from somewhere? Libretto, she mumbles, running a hand over her chin in contemplation, and Serenade looks at her a little in surprise alongside you. She shakes her head away from Arietta's thoughts and turns to face you with a warm smile that you'd come to appreciate. My, you sound like you were destined to be at the Symphony Hall, weren't you? Serenade laughs affectionately and takes a sip of her drink. Well, it's nice to meet you, Libretto. Sorry about this one's brashness before. She's not used to having strangers approach us so casually, or for such innocent reasoning as yours. Arietta is poked by Serenade, who looks at her clasped hands together on the table, fiddling with one of the many silver rings she has on several of her fingers. I guess it's all right to meet you too, she says begrudgingly. You haven't done anything stupid yet, I suppose. Oh, come on, Ari, be nice already, Serenade chides. She grits her teeth as she looks at you. You almost laugh from the pained expression on her face of an attempt at warmth. Nice to meet you. You and Serenade both chuckle at the infliction of disinterest at the end of Arietta's sentence, and you nod. Arietta can't help but smile a little, and leans back in her seat, resting an arm around Serenade. You're relieved that this meeting is now turning out to be as nice as it is. Say, Libretto, Serenade begins to ask, and you can already anticipate a question coming at the end of this starter. If it's all right to ask, considering it was strong enough to bring you over to us, where do you think you've met us? Was there some kind of indicator? You pause for thought. Was there? I don't know, not really. I just thought they looked familiar. Yeah, that was it. I see. Well, I suppose we'll find out sooner or later, Serenade says. Arietta leans into the squeaking green leather of her booth seat, and you get the impression that you've overstayed your welcome from this posture alone. The next few words out of her mouth accommodate that notion. "Perhaps we'll see you in the concert hall," Arietta says with a less forced tone. "But we'd like a few more minutes alone, if you please." Serenade and you smile at Arietta's awkward attempt to be friendly, and you say, "What will you say?" "Okay, I understand. Thanks for indulging me for a while. Honestly, aren't you being a little clingy?" Or, "Oh, alright, only because you've been so friendly towards me there, Arietta." "I'm going for the first one. I'm befriending them. I think maybe they can help me if I'm really nice to them. So I'm going to say, okay, I understand. Thanks for indulging me for a while." The two women before you nod in agreement at your reasonable response and bid you farewell with a warm smile. You're surprised at how well that ended up going for you. "Yeah, I thought I had social anxiety. Looks like I'm bossing it." With two friends, rather obscurely made, you wave your hand and walk towards the door. You return to the lobby area, feeling more refreshed than before, and slip off your red shawl over your blouse-covered arm. Where will you look next? I think it's time to go to the lobby now. With your exploration finished for the time being, you stand amid the lobby and begin to observe your surroundings, thinking about your own mental state a little more after such a walk around. You clear your throat quietly and fold your arms over one another as you wait for Elisa to show her face. The most noticeable thing about the lobby was that most, if not all, attendees of the symphony looked thoroughly and utterly wealthy beyond imagination. Your eyes widen as you notice the amount of expensive clothing and jewellery in your presence. The floor beneath your feet is covered in white and black checkers, extending up the large staircase that rests around the double doors you cannot enter yet. The checkers are diagonally strewn across the floor. You also see many false potted spider plants and azaleas propped against the walls in their large overbearing plant pots. There are leather benches placed around the lobby, made of the same mahogany and walnut grain that the door frames are, and your eyes are dragged back up to look at the gleam of the diamond chandelier once more. This place in its entirety screams wealth, and you feel a little out of your depth, being amid such a crowd, not to mention entirely underdressed. Whoever renovated this place had a lot of money to burn. Suddenly, a familiar, happy voice wraps itself around you. The sensation is followed by a different sensation of physical arms holding you in a gentle embrace before rubbing your shoulders excitedly. You turn around in the person's arms, immediately knowing who it was. It's got to be Elisa. And in turn, smiling at the woman before you. Elisa Durant beams at you. "Libretto, my darling." She's not a New Yorker. "Libretto, my darling," she exclaims with an undiluted delight and excitement, and holds you tightly in her arms. You can see that she can't really believe that you showed up, and the warmth in her eyes only grows further as she talks. "It was so wonderful to see you, and I'm so glad you could make it. Thank you for coming. Was everything okay for you getting here?" What will you say? I don't want to get sucked in. The music is oh yeah, we're in love with her, but I think, I was angry that she didn't tell me that Mona was going to be here, and I'm gonna call her out on it. You didn't tell me about Mona. How could you forget to tell me something like that? Usually upon seeing Elisa, you would come away from it with a sense of renewed happiness. The two of you had always had a natural chemistry for as long as you could remember. But this time you felt a surge of anger, and, as dramatic as it felt to admit, complete betrayal. Your fists clench a little with anxiety, thinking back to seeing Mona in the bathroom so unexpectedly, and in such a heartbroken and floundering state. You grit your teeth. You were furious with Elisa for not telling you something of this magnitude. You firmly opened the conversation with exactly what you were thinking. How could she not tell you that Mona was here tonight? Elisa's face looks as though it drains the blood from her cheeks, and you can see the faraway stare that she gains in her eyes as the thought of ever having hurt you. Libretto, when did you... She begins bewildered, before she notices your steely glare. She can already sense the hurt behind your eyes. She takes a breath to steady her suddenly quivering voice, and grabs your hands. She's using the old hand grab. That's my classic move, and she's doing it on me. I'm so sorry that I didn't tell you. She pauses. You look expectantly at her. What will you say? I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. You must have had a good reason, right? I honestly didn't know what to say. She confesses. Libretto, I've been worried sick about you too. These last few months, God, I wanted you to come so badly here tonight, to get to experience your first symphony, just like we always dreamed. And I know how fragile you've been lately. I knew any small thing could put you off. No matter how much you had wanted to come along, I just didn't want that to be a factor in something else messing up things for you. I know how hard it's been for you, Libretto. I think it would have been better to tell me, actually, instead of now I just have this shock, you know. She looks at you with a sorrowful, guilty expression. You can feel that she is genuinely apologetic. No matter how jarring it was for you, you know deep down she didn't mean to have that come across quite as self-centered as it did. I'm truly sorry, Libretto, but now you've arrived and you know about Mona being here now. So, will you stay? For me? What will you say? Okay, I'm gonna keep everyone happy. On the inside, I'm staying because I want to, because I want to see this concert. But I'm gonna tell her, all right, I'll stay, but only for you. Alyssa's face goes from slightly terrified to one of relief and genuine apology. Thank you, darling, and for what it's worth, I really am sorry for not telling you. Oh, we've got $5 Canadian in the chat from Evan. Got into your music this year, and all of it's so magical. Whether it's your soundtracks or Bowen tracks, thank you for all you've made. Happy Halloween. Thank you, and happy Halloween. The realization that you are here at the symphony hits you in full for the first time. Alyssa smiles at you, clasping at your hands excitedly. Well, Libretto, shall I introduce you to the other members of my symphony group? This whole thing was put together rather fast, but I certainly won't be complaining about the extra cash and opportunity. What will you say? The others? It was put together awfully quickly for an opening night. Don't you find that a little suspect? Because this is where they come to kill me, I suppose. Wasn't this whole thing supposed to be for charity? You probably won't get paid. Let's say the others. Yes, oh, I'm so excited for you to meet them. I told them both so much about you. Well, as much as one can between rehearsals, and we've all been getting along pretty well. We haven't had too much time to chat, and you know how it can be. You might even be able to meet the conductor. Even we've not met her yet. Alyssa grabs your wrist. Stop with the wrist grab. Like, dude. And while she managed to not knock yourself into anybody, she also somehow steers you successfully through the crowds. You find yourself simply enjoy taking in the passing scents of rich perfume, old tobacco, and mulled wine, being swilled around in large, overcompensating glasses as you move at a brisk pace. As your footsteps are muted from the soft carpet beneath, Alyssa, in her infectious enthusiasm, reaches eagerly for the golden doorknob, twisting it to the right and stumbling forward into the darkness of the room before her. Jump scare. She closes the door firmly behind her, with an automatic lock shuttering into place. Suddenly, all of the noise, all of the conversation, laughter, and other such occurrences are all gone. There is no sound to be heard. And as your ear is met with the loud sound of a breaker being switched on, light floods your eyes, and they meet with a remarkable, indescribable sight. You are in front of the stage. Okay, I'm not getting killed yet. In your haze of thinking about the ominous feeling accompanied by the reintroduction of Mona into your life, you'd forgotten how excited you were to be at a symphony hall for the first time, instead of just reading about them in the newspaper and on flyers. The hall is grandiose beyond description. Elisa laughs, patting you on the shoulder, and you realize that you have slightly wetter eyes than before. Elissa notices, and you can tell she's a little emotional herself as she laughs, patting you on the back sympathetically. Hey now, you're in a symphony hall. Finally. No more busking with your violin or playing dead-end smoky halls. No waterworks allowed, unless they're from crying over my beautiful flute playing. You laugh at Elissa's words, and your eyes and other senses can hardly take in the scenery. But despite her comforting words, Elissa decides that now, for some reason, is also the perfect time to meet the rest of her bandmates. And thus, your exploration will have to wait. I promise this is a horror game at some point, apparently. You feel an overwhelming sense of social anxiety cripple you, but you know that this is a situation that is unavoidable, especially if you want to get to know the other members of a symphony. Everyone, Elissa exclaims, clapping her hands to grab the attention of a gaggle of familiar-looking people. Everyone, listen to me for a moment, if you please. She pauses and opens her arms towards you. Everyone directs their eyes to you. You feel pleasantly surprised at the sight the closer you get. This is libretto pensato. Elissa begins with a proud, bright, booming voice, only to finish as quickly as she started. I wanted you all to meet my best friend. Friend-zoned. Hello, libretto, Mona speaks gloomily, without bringing herself to look at you. Elissa shuffles awkwardly a little, and you fold your arms. You again, huh? You again, huh? Huh? A certain redhead speaks with a solemn look. Her smiling girlfriend clings to her arm as she chirps at you. Hi, libretto. Arietta and Serenade stand before you, with Arietta looking as grumpy as ever. You're rather popular with the symphony already, Elissa exclaims, nudging you with her elbow. Wait, do I actually need to introduce anyone? No, Mona says pointedly, stepping out from behind the two women and glares at Elissa. You don't. Oh god, it's Mona. Arietta and Serenade exchange a confused look as Elissa clears her throat. Well, moving swiftly on then. As you stand with the group, you begin to get your bearings back and the opportunity to talk with a few of them. Your eyes scan the surroundings of the symphony hall after the introductions, and it takes your breath away. The seats are soft, made of a thick, plush red velvet, accompanied by golden arms along each seat. A large looming upper circle overshadows the back end of the stalls, in rows that escalate upwards in width to accommodate everyone's view. The symphony hall itself is illuminated by large golden chandeliers, glistening with its impressive size and stature, twinkling above the stage's walnut-coloured floorboards. There are box-shaped microphones stationed around the stage for ease of listening to the loud instruments of the group, as well as being accompanied by a podium for the conductor to work their magic. Several books of sheet music are placed askew next to the podium itself. But perhaps the most unusual of all, you notice, is the placement of speakers around the room. There are several around the stage's upper rungs, and 3 that hang off the upper circle's ceilings. Something about them to you feels off, like they might fall on me and kill me. So, what do you think of the place then, libretto? Elissa asks with a smile, and pulls you out of your thoughts. What will you say? It's absolutely beautiful. Thanks for inviting me. This is quite something, isn't it? Or, sure, it's all right. Aren't you nervous about performing in front of all these people? I'm going to go straight up. It's beautiful. Thanks for inviting me. Of course, darling. You're my best friend, after all. What with Robin travelling, I couldn't very well ask her now, could I? Who's Robin? You raise a suspicious eyebrow. I can't do that. As Elissa laughs nervously, rubbing the back of her neck. Everybody be doing this. This is not a real thing that real humans do. But okay. With a grim look across her face. What will you say? Okay, so Elissa and Robin are dating. I mean, I'm feeling in a bold move, so I'm just gonna say it, you know. Okay, isn't it all over with Robin? All over with Robin? Libretto, come on. You know she's just wandering about Europe looking for the best outlets for business and hasn't contacted me in almost a year. She trails off with a faraway look in her eyes. You place a hand on her shoulder, and she sighs wearily as she pats your hand. All of a sudden you see it, amidst the chatter and the warmth. There, Up above the upper circle, right in the middle, and in the gaze of the sounds booth's window, a pair of eyes watching. A pair of eyes that meet with your own. Sinister, evil. They watch you with a sharp intent. Your breath immediately hitches in fear as you see them, and the silhouette of the figure bearing them in their skull. Libretto. Elisa asks curiously, but you're unable to pay attention. Their tall, slender frame, the silhouette of their folded arms, up in the translucent window just behind the seating of the upper circle. You begin to work out that the room must be a control room, or some kind of room where you can only see the virtually opaque frosted glass, and behind it a pair of eyes, covered with shining glasses atop someone's face. The light reflected off of their glasses illuminates their glare. You know they are watching you. You feel as though you are a target. A prickle shoots up your spine. You cannot possibly grow to know the other members like this. What will you do? I think I'm going to ask Elisa about the upper room, but I still don't trust Elisa, but just to see what she says. Your mouth goes uncomfortably dry with the nervous feeling in your stomach, but you brace yourself as you face Elisa, asking about the room up above. She turns behind her, looking up to the glass-covered box behind the seats, and turns to you with a quizzical look. She laughs with a sympathetic tone, and places a hand on your shoulder gently. That room, libretto, oh, that's just the control room, right? They recently introduced those to many symphony and concert halls the world over. I think they call them sounding rooms as well. I think someone is watching me from up there. I don't know. Is anyone up there right now? Oh, I was just wondering what's up there. I'm going to call it out. I'm going to say, I think someone is watching me from up there. And if she denies it, then I do not trust Elisa anymore. Elisa's brow furrows with concern and looks up at the window once more. Beneath the dimly lit ambient lights of the chandelier in the concert hall, she can barely see as much as you can. You would swear someone was watching you from behind the glass. She squints, trying her best to see anything. Something moving behind the frosted glass, but with a resigned sigh, she looks back at you. I'm sorry, darling, but I honestly just can't tell if anyone's up there. I thought I saw a flash of light a moment ago, but you know, even if they were, why would they be watching you? She asks. You can tell she's not saying it to be unkind or flippant. Try to relax, all right? I know things have been. So maybe it's me. Maybe I'm seeing monsters. Yours and Elisa's gaze falls to the floor as you think of a past few weeks that you would rather not remember. She is the first to look up from the ground and pulls you into a hug. Maybe I'm the monster. Maybe, like, I see all of these monsters and then it causes me to, try and kill everyone else, and I think that they're all against me. So I'm going to try and not do that. I'm not going to try and kill anyone. Everything will be all right, libretto, she says solidly, and rubs your back. I promise, you're the strongest person I know. You feel emotions well in your throat at her kindness, but you push the uncomfortable lump down into your stomach. You smile at Elisa with gratitude, grateful for her kindness, but somehow even more unconvinced that nobody is up there watching you. But what more can you do now? Excuse me, ladies. There is a rap on the door from a woman with a clipboard and a sharply dressed tuxedo jacket. Her brown hair tumbles over her shoulders as she pokes her head around the door, looking at the group of musicians as she speaks. Her eyes linger on you, but you don't recognize her. Half an hour till showtime, everyone. Prepare yourselves as much as possible before the opening. Audience members will begin filtering in 10 minutes before, all right? Elisa nods and turns back to face you. Oh, almost showtime. How exciting. Every member of this symphonic group is awaiting an eager chance to talk to you. After the events that have unfolded this evening, you have many, many questions. Far too many running through your head to have answered them all so close to showtime. If you do not feel in the mood for chatting, you also have the option to explore the hall. What will you ask everyone? Okay, did you know each other prior to this week? How were you informed about playing at the Symphony Hall? How long have you been playing your instruments? No thanks, I'd rather explore the hall. Let's ask them how they were informed, because maybe some terrifying spectre called them all to be here. How were we informed? Elisa repeats, and looks around at the other members as you stand in the small group. Well, that's a good question, actually. You see, none of us really know who it was that hired us. Suspicious. Hired us to play here directly. It sounds as though it's a charity-organised event. She runs a hand through her sandy hair, making a noise of contemplation as she does so. So she was saying that she was going to make a bunch of cash from this, but she's also saying it's a charity-organised event. So that's a little sus. I gotta readjust my ears and my hair. Okay. Ba-dum-bum-bum. As I know you're all too familiar with libretto, we both know being a freelance musician is not easy. To be honest, I'm shocked you didn't get a letter too. As far as I know, we all happen to just get these letters through our door. Let me see here. Elissa rummages around in her coat pocket, looking for something, and eventually pulls out a rather pathetic crumpled up looking piece of paper in an equally crumpled envelope. She laughs bashfully at the obvious lack of care she took with it. She hands the letter over to you, looking at you expectantly, and watches as you unfold the letter to glance over the words below. 12th December, 1951. Okay, there's some news. Dear Miss Durant, we are delighted to invite you to perform at the Songbird Symphony Hall's opening night in 2 weeks' time. As part of a symphonic group, we have received many private references from individuals that have known you many years and have been able to verify the skills in which you possess for playing the flute. If you are interested in this position, please take note of the following telephone number and contact us as soon as you are able. This is not junk mail. You have been chosen to perform an original arrangement of Camille Saint-Saëns' piece Danse Macabre, as well as other pieces which will be afforded to you at a later date. Again, if you're interested in this position, do not delay and contact us today. If we have not heard from you in 3 days, time upon the sending of this letter, we shall instead begin searching again for another performer in time for the opening symphony. Best regards. The Classics and Symphonic Alliance. Sounds fake! You finish reading the letter, and your fingertips scan the words that are written. They were written by hand, scrawled hastily in crude, harsh-looking ink against the paper. That's very sus. Elissa looks very excited upon you looking up from reading the letter. She clasps your hands together between her own. She's really flirting with me. Isn't it wonderful? I could have wept when I received the letter. It's written by hand in some scrawly murderer handwriting. I remember the second thing I did after calling them was call you. Oh, libretto. I'm so happy I can experience this with you. BS. You smile at her gratitude, and she beams brilliantly in your direction. Mona looks at Elissa in disbelief. You got that kind of a letter too? Serenade chips in, and pulls out a piece of paper from her pocket. Me too. I guess we must have all gotten the same, I assume. Arietta rummages around her back pocket and pulls out the remnants of an envelope of one, whilst laughing to herself. Yeah, me too. I guess they must have seen us all around performing. As for these letters, it would appear all amidst our rehearsing and practicing of sheet music, none of us really had the thought to ask if we'd gotten the same envelopes through our door. I got that letter too, Mona added, waving a sheet of paper in her hand slowly. It's a little disappointing that we all got such similar ones, but I suppose it goes to show they were all tailored to each other in the most minuscule of ways. Handwritten too. Did any of you actually meet this person who wrote these letters? Arietta asks. Oh, wait. Did any of you actually meet this person that wrote these letters? Arietta asks, gruffly, folding her arms as she stands next to Serenade. It's kind of strange. I know this opening's been happening for a while, but we've still not met the conductor. I suppose it's not really that strange, Serenade interjects, pressing her fingers to her chin in thought. Lots of organised events are run by big-scale executive officers nowadays, or as my inner skeptic would say, the people who actually profit. I trust Arietta. I think Serenade is trustworthy, but just playing dumb. Not playing dumb, just is dumb. Okay, what will I ask? I do want to know if they knew each other prior to this week. Arietta and Serenade are the first to exchange a wry smile, laughing before they look away from each other a little bashfully. Of course they know each other. Arietta folds her arms and looks up at you, while Serenade stands with a serene smile, clasping her hands by her stomach. Yeah, we did for a long time. Serenade giggles, and you smile at the two of them. Mona stands with her usual gloomy demeanour before you, brushing back a strand of her midnight hair behind her ear. You can tell that she still feels upset from your sudden interaction earlier, and your heart hurts for her. Her eyes look slightly pink at the edges. Libretto and I knew each other before tonight, she states bluntly, despite any assumptions over her appearance. We were together for a long time. Oh, that's Mona saying that. Yes, we were. Arietta raises her eyebrows, and Serenade looks with surprise at you. Oh, Serenade exclaims. I see. So coming here for Elisa and Mona must have been two birds with one stone, right? Mona looks at Elisa and awaits any kind of apology that you both know isn't going to arrive. Right, Elisa says hurriedly. You can tell she feels guilty about the whole situation from the way she's slapping your shoulders. See, isn't it a good thing for the both of you? What will you say? Yeah, I'd probably have stayed home if you told me, so thanks, Elisa. You just don't get how hurtful it was to suddenly see each other again, do you? I think I'm going to go for the intense honesty. I'm going to go, you just don't know how hurtful it was to suddenly see each other again, do you? Elisa's pleasantries don't wash over well with you, and you see right through her attempted beeline to make things right. You shake her hand off your shoulder. Get off me! Irritated by how blatant her charm offensive is, trying to smooth over a mistake she made with no hint of an apology to Mona. You felt terrible as it was. You knew how badly tonight had been going for her, and especially how lonely Mona must have felt these last few months without you. You certainly knew that Elisa had all but dropped Mona from her life the moment you split up, and that in itself was an issue unresolved. Libretto, Elisa replies aghast to you, and Mona steps in to defend your choice. You really don't get it, do you? Not even a little, Mona began pointedly, unimpressed by Elisa's attempt to cover up her faux pas, and her gloomy expression turns to a scornful glare. Ugh. It's pointless trying to talk to someone as self-centered as you, Elisa. How could you not tell us? Not even tell me, at least. I know you love to pretend I don't exist for some reason, but I'm here. I'm right here, and I'm not going anywhere, and neither is Libretto. Mona awaits some kind of response, only to scoff when there is none from Elisa. Arietta and Serenade stand awkwardly in the background, and you frown in disappointment at Elisa. I thought so. Speechless and convinced you still did the right thing, aren't you? You watch Elisa's temper flare privately as she chews at the inside of her cheek. Shall we move on? Arietta chips in quietly, and with Elisa and Mona both thoroughly scolded, you agree that it's for the best that you do that. What will you ask everyone? I don't care how long they've been playing their instruments, well, unless someone slips up and has been like, I've been playing for 3 months, and then be like, oh. I'm not the kind of person that's like, I need to exhaust every option. I'm going to explore the rest of the place. If you run off to explore the hall now, you won't have any time to talk to the rest of the symphony members of the symphony. I am sure I want to go exploring. Let's go. Despite your fears over the looming figure, you make your choice. As the company of your eccentric peers come together in chatter and decision on where to put what for the performance looming, and decision on where to put what for the performance looming, you decide to swallow your fright over the room up behind the upper circle and go to explore around the symphony hall. This is the first time you have truly been able to look up around the symphony hall for yourself besides a passing glance, and your breath is taken away further by the sights that you are met with. The first extra that you notice compared to what you saw from your first entry is the gargoyles. There are even gargoyles in this hall. Gargoyles. There are even gargoyles in this hall, hanging small in the corners of the room, looming over edges of golden pillars. Next to them are large, mesmerizingly detailed paintings that look as though the subjects inside could step out onto the carpet at any moment, dripping the oils and colours all over the red of the floor. You shudder at the eeriness of them. Only one of the paintings appears to be covered with a blanket, The paintings that are on display, however, are just as beautiful as they are haunting. What will you do? We've got to remove the blanket. You guys ready? 3, 2, 1, remove. You decide to try to remove the blanket covering the painting. Despite that, you feel slightly bold doing it. As you tug on the material's golden tassels, you find that the top corners are deliberately stuck down to the frame itself. You tilt your own head to the side in trying to see the angles in which they're stuck, and try to also wonder why. Why wouldn't anyone want you to see this painting, to the point of depreciating its value with attachments like this? Suddenly, you hear a voice from behind you. How are you doing, libretto? Elisa walks up to you. Go away, Elisa. She looks up at the covered painting at your side and folds her arm as she makes a noise of contemplation to herself. You're curious too, aren't you? She asks and smiles at you. Should we take a little peek? We could probably at least see the title if we lift up the bottom ever so slightly. Will you find out the title of the painting? Yes. You lift up the cloth covering the painting, just so, and see the title is My Joyful Love. That's not you, Elisa. My Joyful Love, Elisa repeats. So this was definitely a painting about a lover. How romantic. I wonder why it's covered. Maybe they had a bad breakup. Can you imagine getting an oil painting done of someone only for them to leave you? Honestly, I can think of better things to spend my money that I don't have on. Why is she always putting her foot in it? Elisa glances towards the direction of the stage, making a soft noise of contemplation. I think I'm going to go and get some last-minute practice in, libretto. I'll leave you to your own devices, she says as she brushes past you, giving your shoulder a gentle pat. She's obsessed with the shoulder. Just make sure you come and wish me luck before the show starts, darling. With that, the always chipper Elisa hurries down the hall, rounding the corner and disappearing from view. As your footsteps softly echo with your movements, you slowly walk around the chairs of the hall, gently running your fingertips over the material of the cushions, and closing your eyes to inhale deeply the atmosphere around you. For the first time tonight, you feel almost as though you begin to feel some semblance of relaxation. You jump out of your skin with your heart racing as you suddenly hear a loud noise from above. Without even looking, you know for sure that it's coming from the control room. Somebody is still in there, after all. You feel a horrible sense of panic wash over you as you realize just how close you are to the room itself. It would be no difficult task for whoever was up there to rush down the upper circle's aisles, jump over the edge and do something terrible. What will you do? Okay. Attempt to go up to see what's going on. Return to the stage. I'm not going up there. I don't want to die. I'm going to the stage, and I want to know who knew what. The sudden shift in atmosphere has set your teeth on edge. Teeth are on edge. This is your first time at the symphony. You don't want it to be your last, that's for sure. With one last glance of paranoia over your shoulder, you briskly make your way back to where all your friends are. Okay, I need safety. As it so happens, you make it back just in time, before you realize time passes in the blink of an eye. There's a bang on the door to symbolize to get ready, and for you to start leaving too. You turn your attention to Elisa, who hurries over to you, clasping your hands, and you can feel her trembling with a mixture of delight and excitement. What is she excited for? Is she excited for me to die? Well, this is it, libretto. Don't say this is it. This performance could change both of our lives. If there's a scout in the audience, wish me luck. How is it going to change my life? It might change your life, and then you're going to change my life by shooting me or something. Her expression is one that you've never quite seen on her before, and she is looking to you for words of encouragement for the biggest performance of her life. I think the fact that that gunshot... I mean, why isn't Elisa talking about the gunshot? Am I the only person that heard the gunshot? Am I hallucinating the gunshot? This is very spook. I mean, if other people heard the gunshot, why are they not like, ah, and running out? What will you say? Good luck, Elisa. You'll do fantastic, and I'll be watching every step of the way. Have fun, and I hope everything goes okay. Well, break a leg or something. I'm going to say break a leg because screw you, yo. Elisa blinks in dismay at your brashness and nods silently. Thank you, I think. See you soon. With Elisa's department, you hear familiar footsteps coming from another direction, and a hand gently places itself on your shoulder. Libretto, the source of the footsteps speaks, and you feel butterflies in your stomach whip up like a whirlwind of petals as you turn around. Who is it? Mona. Of course it's Mona. Mona has stood before you now, looking at you rather sheepishly, in the same gloomy demeanour that you know all too well staring in the face. I am worried that, this is, she's so hurt from the breakup and she wants her revenge, and this is... She was just, playing dumb the whole time about, not knowing I'd be there, and... I don't know. But then, yeah, maybe she was the one who wrote all of this? Because, why would she be going to the symphony anyway? I don't think she can afford to go... Now I'm very sus of Mona. Your gaze softens as you see how nervous she is standing before you, and also note how quickly she retracted her hand from your shoulder. I just wanted to say to you that I'm glad you're here tonight. You blink incredulously, and Mona turns to leave. You know she isn't doing it for dramatic effect, and for the sake that she is upset, and for the sake that she is upset with you, but more so that she feels how you feel being around her. You can hardly stand to see her in such a way. Will you stop her from leaving and say something? I think I'm going to stop her from leaving. You reach out quickly and grab her arm softly. Mona lets a gasp out from her lips and turns her head slightly towards you, her eyes meeting with your own in a blur of intensity. Libretto? She asks in surprise. What will you say? Oh, Mona's on stage too. Okay, well that makes sense. But I still think she organised it. I mean, I don't think I'm going to go full simp mode, so I'm just going to go, good luck on the stage, Mona, have fun. Your mind goes blank from all the things you feel you want to say to Mona, and instead you blurt out what you're thinking in the moment. You tell her that you wish her luck and that the performance goes just as planned. She looks at you with a warm expression. This game is called The Ghost of You, and our mother died a few months ago. And I believe we broke up with our ex-girlfriend who we've run into because she, I don't know, I think she couldn't be there for us enough, we couldn't handle. I don't really know why it doesn't go into it, but thank you, Libretto. I suppose I better get back on the stage and set up, but we should definitely talk when we can afford the opportunity. You nod hastily, and Mona turns around quickly, hesitant to find out what would happen if she lingered for too long. I mean, if she lingers for too long, we might just kiss. You let go of her arm gently and watch as she walks quickly towards the stage. You watch for a moment as Elisa, Arietta, Serenade, and Mona all take their places. The audience members are beginning to file in from the very back of the hall. You double-check the ticket Elisa posted through your door. Your seat is third from the very front row. The show is about to begin. The symphony hall is alive, breathing, living, and whirring with the static of people filtering in. You can hear the joyful chatter of the patrons, entering in waves. You see top hats and tweed flap caps that were not left in the cloakroom, discarded to several young-looking, slightly dowdy cloakroom attendants on hand. You wait in your seat, 58C, as jolly audience members crowd around the seats in your area. The lighting is dark. You can barely make out the text on a discarded flyer on the seat next to you from the lack of illumination. And you keep turning around every now and then from the unsettling paranoia you have felt all night. You still aren't entirely convinced that there isn't someone watching over you. It's my mother. But what more can you do? Your friends would notice with or without illumination, whether you were here or not, surely. Your position nearest to the front row is as safe as you could be, and if anything were to happen inside the symphony hall itself, you would not be the only one to be affected. Yeah, I think the main character is being followed by the ghost of her mum too. The whole situation, you attempt to convince yourself, is ridiculous. Is it? Is it really? You shift uncomfortably in your seat, finding it more and more uneasy to keep looking around yourself whilst you wait for the symphony, and more to the fact that the people behind you are beginning to grow concerned with whatever you are interested in, and look around a couple of times themselves. The chatter begins to grow quieter and quieter, and the doors finally close. You feel the buzz in the air that the concert is about to start. Ba. Let's see if that is anything. Yeah. Bop. 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 And now, a booming voice says from the sounding room, playing for the first time in the Songbird Symphony Hall. It is one of our latest quartets. Unfortunately, our planned conductor could not be here tonight, and instead will be substituted by Iris Angiomata. Someone in the chat says, Mum wants her liver back, Johnny. You begin to hear a low resonating buzz of people around you. A conductor substitute. How strange. I want my liver back. I want my liver back. That is relatively unheard of. Oh, there she is. Is she wearing a mask? What on earth is going on here? This just gets weirder and weirder, doesn't it? I never did like these small towns. The voices are around you coagulate to make one curious, confused mess, and the dredging, unshakable sense of horror and fear that you've been feeling this entire time tells you something. That is that you have not even begun to scratch the surface of what truly lies beneath. The conductor walks on stage without a word. She's wearing a plain white masquerade mask over the upper half of her face, accentuating her wide grin. At first, as the woman known as Iris Angiomata begins, the performance of dazzles you more than you could ever even begin to describe. So, I've actually been in a orchestra when they've played this piece, and a cool fact about this piece is that there's like a solo violinist, and they have to detune their which one's it? Their E string. They detune their E string to be an E flat so that they can have so it can be a tritone between the two open strings. So that's a cool little Dance Macabre fact. Anyway, on with the story. As the curtain raises, the dazzling reds of the material astounded you, and your eyes light up from the sight of your friends. They play almost instantaneously, the most melodious of tunes, a beautiful rendition of the classic Dance Macabre, moving in a slow, hypnotizing motion as they sway from side to side. Their own hands move in perfect clockwork with Serenade's voice and the firm conducting of Iris Angiomata leading them. You feel your body enraptured, completely dissolved of your negative emotions, and you remember just why it was that you were so excited to come tonight. You feel emotional. But as soon as your happiness comes, it leaves, and this time, it leaves for a long time. You feel a hand around your mouth. From behind, you don't know who it is, but the overpowering smell of perfume is not giving you any clues. Are you ready for what's to come? The voice mumbles against your ear, hissing with a curved smile. You are frozen with fear. You don't have time to scream. The conductor has stopped. You realize, I was right all this time. I was being watched. The hand over your mouth is clamped, and inside the palm of this hand is a rag. A sweet, almost odorless smell reaches your nostrils. You begin to realize that chemicals are being forced into your system. Prepare yourself, libretto. The voice mumbles again, a sardonic chuckle in their words. You begin to realize that this is the voice of a woman. Prepare yourself for everything you're about to endure. She presses harder, back against your face. You feel your throat closing up with a choke gag, clawing at her wrists as fast as you can, but to no avail. You notice in your panic-terrified haze that the people next to you are bleeding from the throat, large, swift gashes in their flesh, and you feel as though you will die of fright alone. Your vision blurs and your body solidifies. I don't want to die. Stiffening as it is overcome with an indescribable sensation of heaviness and lethargy. Your limbs go slack with delirium, and this is when you realize something awful, that you are passing out and may never wake up. You could swear that as the room goes even darker than before, that an uncanny, piercing-like sound reaches your ears before you fade, and that your friends stop and leap up in alarm of whatever they saw just before them. Don't tell me I'm dead. You have now passed out. When you awaken, your adventure will begin. Wow, okay, well the story's just about to begin. I thought that this was going to be a short game, but it's turning out to be a pretty long game. But we're pretty deep in now. Let's see what happened. Will you survive the madness of the Songbird Symphony Hall? Oh my goodness. Let's try to survive the madness. The Ghost of You. Oh my gosh. The James Bond credits just come up. That was just the intro. Are you kidding me? ... How long is this game? Like, I swear I looked up short horror games, and it said this was maybe like an hour or something. That was just a prologue. Alright, let's do it. ... You find yourself lost in a dream. Visions of your mother standing in a field of poppies fill your head with a brilliant blue moon and a bright sun at her back, burning away through the sky. They are blinding to the eye, and yet you continue to stare. How was that just the prologue? A deep, dark chasm ripples its way through the field of flowers with a violent tremble, separating the two of you from ever meeting. Despite the intensity of the rumble beneath your feet, no sound meets your ear. You extend a desperate hand towards her from the edge of nothingness, pleading with all your might for her to help you, but she can't hear you in the soundless plain. She simply waves, wearing that serene smile you miss so terribly every day. Arietta and Serenade walk up next to your mother, taking their places at either side of her. They wave at you as well. The calm looks on their faces show that they are completely oblivious to your desperate pleas. There is a sudden sensation of arms wrapping around you. They hold you gently from behind, the motion soothing. Is it really 4 hours? I don't know if I can handle 4 hours. You turn your head and your face is a mere breath away from Mona's. The way she's looking at you with such love makes your heart thrum hard in your chest, even now. She leans in close, her breath tickling at your ear, and she whispers at you. Don't be afraid. I'll keep you safe. Her words of reassurance are the only thing that cut through the deafening silence. I swear I read online that this was like 1 or 2 hours or something like that, like 2 hours max. I don't know, let's see. ... Can anyone Google? If it's 4 hours, I might have to reconsider. I have another game to play that is more terrifying and jump scary, and it's another puppet combo game. Let's see. The first thing you notice when you wake up is your headache, one unlike any you have ever experienced. It feels as though your brain is being squeezed by a strong vice. Unrelenting in its grip, it presses hard against your sinuses. Your vision is obscured, blurry from the pain and the disorientation you feel all over your body. You feel like a living blur right now. Your hands twitch with the stirring of movement as you lay. You realize that your back is flat on a cold stone floor. Every part of you aches, your muscles screaming as you move. You cannot help but let out a cry as you sit up. You press your twitching hand to a sticky, particularly painful spot on your forehead and pull it back with a sharp intake of breath. You seem as though you have bled from the forefront of your head, but over however long you have been knocked out. The blood has congealed and matted down. You could have sworn, however, that you were knocked out with some kind of drug. You begin to assume that you were later knocked out with something sharper against your skull for posterity's sake. Your eyes sting. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe I will stop this now and move into a different game and just save it. Maybe do a part 2. That could be fun. Rubbing the back of your neck, your vision adjusts and you begin to pick up more of your surroundings. There is a rusted bucket in the corner of the room, a mop that looks as though the dark handle is splintered, as well as dusty shelves full of cleaning products, and old yellow rags. You begin to realize that this is probably a utilities closet. But were you still in the symphony hall? What was it that happened to bring you here? Or more specifically, who? The memories of what happened at the symphony begin to return to your mind amidst your days, and you feel the pit of fear and anxiety welling up inside your stomach once more. You knew you were being followed. You knew you were being watched. You knew, and while a part of you felt scared, you also felt overwhelmingly angry that somebody felt as though they could treat you in such a way. Oh, you're awake. Good. A crackled voice startles you from the upper corner of the room. A speaker and a small-looking camera hangs near to the speaker. It looks as though they might be able to hear you back, as there is a small red light beneath the aforementioned speaker. What will you say? Okay. I think what I have to do is save here, and I will return to this later. But that was cool. That was interesting. I really want to know what happened. I think we can. I'm wondering if I should tell a little ghost story. I actually have a story that's not really a ghost story, but a near-death experience story. What do you guys think? I've saved. I will quit. You guys want to hear my near-death experience? No, not Johnny's liver. Turn off Johnny's liver. I will tell you a very short story about... I'm going to try and make it scary. So, I'm also going to try and not make this gossipy either. So, I went to LA once on a hopeful romantic trip that didn't turn out very good. And at the end of the trip, we went to Joshua Tree, and we had an okay time, despite the fact that it didn't really the trip didn't turn out how either of us hoped that it would. And so we had kind of like an okay time in Joshua Tree. We stayed at this motel. We woke up and drove back to LA. And then she says, "I want my liver back." So we're on the highway, and we're driving back to LA. I'm getting kind of sleepy, and I'm sat next to the person who I was there to see, and being very mysterious and vague about this. And in the sky, I see this red and brown tiny circle, and I kind of pointed at it, and I'm like, "Hey, what is that? That's there's something in the sky." And then she's like, "Huh, I don't know what you're talking about." And she's driving, and she doesn't really look at it. And we keep going, and I look at this liver in the sky. I look at this big kind of circle in the sky, and the circle seems to be getting bigger and bigger. It's kind of got these reds and browns and blues. This is a true story, by the way. So this big circle in the sky is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm kind of like, "Hey, what the hell's going on? Look at this." And so she notices, and a bunch of other cars on the motorway have pulled over. So we pull over, and we're just sat in this car, and we're looking out of the windscreen, and the big circle is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm terrified. I think this must be a meteor coming to Earth. It's just this big circle, and all it's doing is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and just all of these swells of reds and browns and blues are getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it's coming to me. And I just thought, this is the end of the world. This is how my life ends. And not only my life, but people on the other side of the globe, no people that aren't seeing this is just the end of humanity. This is how human history ends. Like my heart was racing so much. I was grabbing onto like the side of the car, just like bracing for impact, and it was just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And it was just kind of like, I can't believe I'm dying now, and like the world is going to end right now. And at a certain point, as it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, the edges just kind of start to become more and more kind of like they become more like vague, like it's less of a clear circle and more like it's got frayed edges. And then suddenly someone says, "Is it okay if I laugh?" Yeah, you can laugh. And then suddenly this kind of little thing shoots off from the splat of color in the sky and has these 3 lights that are kind of going away from it as it flies off. This kind of really strange, definitely kind of like human made object. And then kind of the color just fades away, and the little kind of thing that flies off just disappears, and my life was spared. But in my heart, I was dying that day, and the whole world was over. But I will tell you, the monster turned out to be, the next day, I looked up what it was, and it was a test SpaceX launch. The monster was Elon Musk, and he scared me. Like, I thought the world was ending. He terrified a lot of us, and that's my terrifying story. That is my spooky story of when I thought I was going to die. So yeah, it kind of was low-key beautiful. I wasn't seeing things. You can Google it. It's real. If you look up SpaceX LA launch, like, that was it. Elon Musk, like, made me think I was going to die. Drugs, perhaps. It was not drugs, perhaps. And yeah, it was like on a failed romantic trip, and I'm just there in this car like, well, if we're both going to die, maybe I love you. But I mean, that's what I thought in my head, but I'm very glad I didn't say that. Alright, let's play the next puppet combo game. I'm actually scared to go back to the world of being screamed at by nuns and stuff like that. So I have a few. Babysitter Bloodbath, Blood Wash, Power Drill Massacre, Sam Hain, Search Party, The Glass Staircase, The Horror of Salazar House. I'm kind of interested in The Glass Staircase. That sounds kind of cool. So let's give it a go. Alright, I need to make a new object in OBS. Let's go. Window capture. Glass staircase. Add a new source. What are you guys saying? Blood wash? Power drill? I'm seeing another blood wash. Ooh. Maybe I should play Power Drill. Do not play Power Drill Massacre. It's so loud. I don't really want to be like... I'm scared, okay? I'm going to go for Glass Staircase. Okay. Dum 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 da dum da dum dum. Dum da dum da dum da dum dum. Okay. Let's make you big. Windowed. Play. Oh, it's this again. Okay, okay. There are violent and disturbing images in this game. Okay, let's start a new game. I'm seeing a lot of love for Power Drill. I'm almost tempted to just play Power Drill. But I just don't want it to be really scary, okay? I'm seeing a lot of people be like, Glass Staircase is cool too, in a way where you're actually just being really kind to me and wanting to support my decision, but I should probably just play Power Drill. So I'm going to do that. Let's do that. I can tell. I can read. I can read your mind. Let's go. Let's go. And let's go Power Drill. Let's do it. Okay. Alright, we're doing Power Drill. Let me make this smaller. Dum 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 da 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 dum dum. Okay. Let's play.
Comment about
Thank you, I am Warriors22 for the $20. Don't mind me, I'm Donate N. Well, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Hopefully it will get me through the terror. The terror that is afoot. Jeff! Yes, Megan? Are you okay? Ugh, I can't feel my legs. Don't worry, Jeff. I'll go get help. Alright, time to go get help. This is the worst headache ever. But I think I'm alright. It's getting dark. Better get the flashlight out of the truck. What the hell is this camera? Why is the camera so weird? Oh my god, the movement is so strange. Don't worry, Jeff. I'll find help. Jeff! So Jeff is in the car. Oh, poor guy. Oh, the camera is weird. Oh, this whole thing is weird. Okay. Jeff is so silly. You're right. Oh! Bwap bwap. Okay, I can run. I like running. I'm just gonna go get help, okay? Nothing bad's gonna happen. This camera, man. It's doing my head in. I'm gonna go this way. Is this gonna be like the other game where I have to like... Doesn't matter how far you come here. Sometimes you're gonna have to lose. It's not about how high the mountain. Gonna climb it all the night. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's the climb. These games always make me climb some... Oh, hello. Hello. Hi. Open. What a creepy old shed. It's boarded up. Yeah, it is creepy. Oh, the wind is getting louder. Look at my heartbeat, 77. Dude. Oops. No stamina bar as well. Like, I can run all I want. Oops. Yes, a climb. Okay, more climbing. But I can't jump. That's the one thing that I don't like about this game. I could jump in Nun Massacre, which was fun. Oh, it's getting more windy. After this game, I think I have one more story to tell. And then it's got to be time for bed. It's already nearly 2 in the morning on Halloween. The most terrifying day in the calendar. In the Mayan calendar, which we all observe. Okay, let's see another creepy little... It's another shed. It looks exactly like the last one. That's funny. Right, let's have a little look inside. Can I look through? Anything in here? Jeff? It's just a junked car. Nothing interesting inside. It's not about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. Wow. Someone is up at 4 a.m. Thanks for your dedication. Enter? Enter? No. Enter. I can't use this door. It's rusted shut. Boom. Okay. I can use this door. This door is sealed shut. How do you seal a door shut? Now, what about this one? No. This one doesn't even give me a chance. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay. I think I've come to the wrong place. This is just classic puppet combo. You do the climb, and then you play Where's the Door? Where is the door? Where is the door? Let's go. Where is the door? Yeah, baby. Where is the door? Where is the door? Let's go up here. It's the climbing the stairs, yeah, baby. Climb and see what's there. Step by step, I'll make it up. Was this red? No, it's not blood. Okay. This person moves so janky. Okay, all good. I feel like I need to just check the very top before I go into that door. Oh, lovely little deck. Okay, I've checked. Oh my god, the camera. Okay, here we go. Let's get down. Get down, boogie nights. Is anyone going to a Halloween party tonight? I know for like people near America, it's like 7 p.m. or something like that. Oh, yeah, let's go inside. What a creepy building. And if so, what are you dressed as? It's not me asking, what are you wearing? Dear chat, what are you wearing? Wait. Did someone just lock me in here? Somebody locked me in. Oh no. It's the power drill killer. Jesus. It's a locked metal door. I feel I'm being watched here. I do not like hearing that breathing. Guys, can you hear that? Can I change the... No, oh, wait, what? No, I just... Okay, phew. I thought that I just exited the game then. Oh my god. I'm about to like jump out of my skin. I really don't like this. I really hope it's not like the same kind of thing as the nun where like he comes for you. And then it's really loud. Have I even been here? I'm just trying to get help. Why did I even go in here, man? Give me a gun. I need a gun. Or a rock. Jesus. Oh, I'm so scared. There are 3 locks with splodges of paint, blue, green and red. Okay, so I need to find 3 keys or something. Why do I do this to myself? I hate this. I'm like so scared. Guys. What's this? Fuck. Wait, but I think I need to approach this. Is there anything here? No. Key for me? Now this is an openable door. Oh, this is such a maze. Oh! Oh my god. So... I don't like the experience of being really scared like this. If I retry, do I have to go from the start again? Where's my mouse? Why can't I click anything? Click. How did you just get me like that? Guys, that's too scary. I didn't like that. I should never have done a Halloween what is this thing called? Stream. I don't like these games. These games make me feel really bad. Let's just look at the options so that we feel nice. That's nice. Cool. Oh, you can change the camera. I don't want to play this again. I don't want to play this. I'm gonna do the final spooky story, and then I shall end the stream. Thanks so much for coming. Thanks for all the donations. It's been a while since I've streamed before, but spooky season got me feeling like I should do it again. And I have a bunch of games that I want to stream in the future. Maybe a Smash stream. Maybe summon. Okay. Fucking hell. Let's go to the campfire. At least we're safe in the campfire. Okay, so I do believe I perhaps do believe that we have another Is there another guest to tell a story? A mystery ghost. Are you a dangerous spectre? Should I trust you? I don't want to pick it up. I don't think I should pick it up. Guys, I'm going to pick it up. This is the final story. Hello?
I want to tell you guys a true story, a scary story that happened to me. The old flat I used to live in, right next to my bed, there used to be a small door where the electrical meter was. And every time I would have a nightmare and I wake up in the middle of the night, the door would be slightly open, and I always felt like something was watching me. So I got really scared, and one day I taped it up. I taped the small door so it won't open again. And it didn't open for a good few months. And then I had this crazy nightmare again, and I woke up at night and I looked at the small door, and the door was completely open, and the tape was cut out like really cleanly, like someone like put a knife and just like.
And the phone just cut out. I don't know what to make of that. I want your liver. Somebody cut the tape. I'm going to tell one more story before ending the stream, because somebody, at least they claimed to write a new kind of scary story for me specifically for this stream, and that person goes by the name of Sterling Wilkinson. So I'm going to read this story out, and then I'm going to end the stream. So this is the final spooky story. All right, let's go. Let me turn up the terrifying sounds. To whom it may concern, I have assembled an account of the events that have transcribed before me. I can't decipher what is real and what is not, but I can't go without recording it before I take this knowledge to my grave. Before what happened is the context in which the event took place. I live in a small town in the country, and further into the country resides a mining town that makes its profits off of coal, but has scarce local resources. They often need help from my own town when they find themselves in trouble. Now the next part is why this is important. One of the mining groups went missing in the mine they were prospecting. I volunteered, being an audacious man and new to the community that I wanted to be a part of. At that point we'd found a group to explore the mine in order to find the missing men, or what's left of them. Our group consisted of a small, agile fellow, a brawny man, and a brave woman, and myself. With our humble group we began our journey to the caves. We walked until we came upon a cave mouth, with seemingly no end. After going in, we walked for a time, exploring this vast natural cave. We eventually had to light a torch, after the cave had gotten too deep to receive light from the mouth of the cave. We could find evidence of man in the caves. We knew we were getting close, but we weren't sure what to expect. After reaching the end of the cave, we couldn't find anything. There were marks in the walls that indicated they had started mining at the very end, but didn't get far. My train of thought at the time was interrupted by a putrid smell that singed my nose. After investigating the area, we found a bag, hammered into the ceiling of the cave. Upon getting the bag down, we found that it carried some of the remnants of one of the miners. The remains were mutilated and nearly brought us to vomit. While the scrawny man was determined to leave the cave, my other members and I wanted to find the bottom of this, but not without doing one last scan of the area. Upon searching, we found a smoothed out section of the wall with carved lines running along it in a large rectangle. Putting pressure on it pushed the giant slab into a large empty room where the thud of stone echoed off the walls. We filled in, one by one, but not before throwing in another torch to scout the area, but to no avail. Upon entering the room, we found that it was one massive catacomb, where there were different sections of large towering stone shelves that housed heavy stone coffins. Who did the catacombs belong to? None of us had a clue. But at that moment, one after another, coffin lids began to slide off their cold, hard containers. We were too distracted by the slamming of stone on rock to acknowledge the shuffling footsteps of the coffin's contents. We were attacked by the monsters in the catacombs, defiled, vaguely human husks slumbering on the remains of their bodies. We were outnumbered greatly, but we were able to get away with a few scratches, but were traumatized. We agreed that if the things weren't going to come out of the cave, we should leave and give the problem to someone more suited for the task. But by the time we made it out of the cave, the sun had fallen. Exhausted and hurt, we decided to camp a distance from the cave's mouth so we could lick our wounds and rest before tomorrow's journey. The night was uneventful for the first half, but at some ungodly hour, the scrawny fool got up from the ground and started sprinting towards the cave. No matter what we did, he was too fast to catch up to. Eventually, we made it back to the cave's end as we heard the clanging of metal coming from the gaping dark hole in the wall. We were all terrified, but the woman stood up and led the way forward. Upon entering the catacombs, the monsters were nowhere to be seen, but the metal clanging was echoing loudly. Before the sound stopped, and the sound of a creaking gate began as we found the scrawny one moving through a rusty metal gate, leading into more complete darkness. We followed like idiots, walking into a trap. We chased the man until we came upon a smaller circular room with lit candles and a chair where the man dropped to his knees in the centre and fished out a dark sullied meat from a hole in the centre of the floor. He actually tried to eat it. It was the most disgusting thing I had seen that day, much less my life. Unfortunately, the woman was the one to kick it from his hands before the crazed creature of a man sliced our friend to death with a knife he kept in his boot. We weren't quick enough to save her, but we were quick enough to save ourselves as we knocked the beast unconscious. I'd never seen such a large thing tremble so much, but we weren't done yet. I left the room without the brawny man and went forward, adopting the bravery of my fallen compatriot. In the next room lies a throne accompanied by 2 braziers, lighting the skeleton of a fallen monarch, clad in chainmail and armed with a sword. The skeleton was trembling with life. As soon as I reached for the knife in my boot... The skeleton was trembling with life as soon as I reached for the knife in my boot. I was scrawny, but I had fought with so much adrenaline. I hadn't fought with so much adrenaline in my life before. And the knife did wonders, cleaving bone and metal. I fought like a madman, almost like a wild animal, and I succeeded, but I don't know if I really won. I found myself next to the brawny one, the audacious fool, and the brave soul. I was the only one that made it out, but I didn't feel like myself. I was the first and the last to leave that cave, and I didn't have the heart to go back to the village after my cowardice, and especially not after I put my group in danger. The worst part is I never got the piece of myself I lost in there, and worst of all, I never got answers. Ha 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 ha. Good night, and thanks for coming. This has been Evil Bowen.